where they can hear us. Hello, welcome back to Ken's Tavern. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well today. Welcome back. Sorry that it took 6 minutes to switch to live. I hope you were on the edge of your seats in suspense. But welcome back to Ken's Tavern. My name is Magma. If you haven't met me before, I'm the DM of this current campaign, and I run most of Ken's Tavern along with the help of my fellow DMs and fellow people. The people who we all love. I don't want to list everybody, but everybody helps. Okay. But welcome back. I'm sorry it's been a few weeks. We've all been like super busy, and like I've had a few weekends of super busyness and just haven't been able to get in some D&D. What was that? Mikey hosted. Before we even get started at all, let me first announce that we have a contest that is starting today during this stream to win
I didn't
a
even know about that.
special one-of-a-kind set of Ken's Tavern D&D dice. Yes. Hard On Tortuga has made a custom set of dice for us, specifically for Ken's Tavern. So it's special colors. It matches everything. It's amazing. Currently, Sandra has them, and so whoever ends up winning the dice, Sandra will be mailing them to your residence. Postage paid, don't worry. But how it works is you can enter in by hosting, rating, subbing, donating, buying merch, or if you refer a friend to be a new follower of the tavern. So if you do any of these things during the stream, I will do my best to catch them. And
Hang on.
But if you can you mute for a second. Okay, sweet.
There you go.
I will do my best to fill in my little sheet that I've got up for the contest. Basically, what happens is things like a host, you get 1 entry, raids get 2, subs get 2, I think. Let me see where I put it. Dice contest. Hosts are 1, raids are 2, new follower is 2, so if you recruit a new follower, sub is 2. Donations and merch purchases, it really depends on how much you've donated or how much you've bought of our merch. It could be anywhere between 1 and 5 entries, sort of assigned by value. So we're gonna run it probably, let's say, for the next, I want to say 2 to 3 sessions. I want to give it lots of time. But next 2 to 3 sessions, and I'll give you a heads up like when we are gonna be ending it. So make sure to get your hosts in and your raids in, and I will put everybody's entry into a fantastic like beer mug or something, because of course it's Ken's Tavern. And we'll find out who wins, and you will definitely get a fancy set of dice. And we will be slowly over the next few months. I don't want to guarantee any sort of time frame, but I am going to be launching a brand new store for Ken's Tavern, so it'll all be in one spot, and it will be set up individually, which is going to be really cool. So it'll be like kenstavern.com, or it probably won't be that because I think there is a Ken's Tavern. It'll have to be something, but it will be a really neat spot to have everything in one place, and I'll put all the characters on there and all of our players, and it's just gonna be a really good hub for the tavern. So once that happens, Tortuga is actually going to be making some special dice for us, so we're going to buy them from Tortuga in sets, so you'll be able to purchase these dice for your very own. And we'll do themes, so they'll be based maybe on some characters or on certain things or certain cities or something like that. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm really excited. I'll let you folks know when that happens, but like I said, I don't want to guarantee a timeline at this point because I'm still working on my own stuff. But it will be probably in the new year, and that will be pretty sweet. So I'm looking forward to that. But for now, you can win a set of dice before anyone else, and they're going to be so unique because they're going to be the only one that looks sort of like that, because everything else is going to be individually made. So very cool. Okay, so for our host for now, let's give everybody here. So thank you, folks, for hosting. Dustin. Love how it's like some people I have to write your whole name, but other people I'm just like, nah. So all of you are just like Dustin, Bunny, Garrett, Mikey. Great. Okay. That's it, and yet my column says Twitch name, but like that's not your name for you. Okay, so these are all hosts. So. Oops. There we go. All right. So if I hear them come in, I will definitely do so, and I will go back after stream and make sure that I've added up everybody's hosts and things like that. So if you do, the only one that is going to be weird is if it's a friend that follows. So just make sure that if they follow during the stream, you give me a little heads up in chat or throw me a DM and say, oh, that was my friend that just followed. Or if they follow outside of stream, like starting now, if they follow outside of stream at all, that still counts. And if you sub or donate or buy merch outside of stream, it still counts. So just make sure to throw me a message. Otherwise, I won't quite be able to see it. So yeah, just do that for me, and that would be fantastic. And we can make sure that you earn all your entries. Really excited to be able to do this. So I may also see if I can include some stickers. We will throw it together as a super fun package. All right. That being said, and that contest being, let's go over what happened last day. So in our last session, most of the group is going to be back here today. We are waiting on Ames, just for PC issues, so she may be here, and if she's not, we're sorry for that. We're sorry for everybody who's here as a super. I know there's so many of us. But let me go over last day, but everybody has returned from last day. So you started the day last time. You had finished off the scary mother in the treehouse. You did a quick bit of exploring, took a look at the daisy chain that you'd found, kind of made a bit of an inference that, hey, remember that girl that we let out of jail, or like we let her friends out of jail, and then we saw her in memories and she's kind of bad. Oh yeah, maybe her name was Daisy. Maybe. So you sort of remember that a little bit. Then you found the path off of the treehouse that you hadn't gone into yet and discovered a strange alcove that had a beautiful waterfall and then some strange symbols on the ground. When you looked at the different symbols, you couldn't quite figure out what it is, but when you stepped upon the one that had a face looked like a bird, magically Claire appeared, who had just been in the town of Peekabou collecting herbs in a path in the forest, and she was magically transported to your location. You, using your knowledge, your acquired knowledge from a few of you, sort of determined that you heard of this before. It was an ancient magic that had been used, but you had to have someone on each end of this sort of teleportation device for it to work properly. So hence why you could pull through Claire, but you can't send Claire back unless there's someone on the other side. So Claire joined the party with no idea of what was happening. You headed back into town with the rest of the children that you had saved from the treehouse. The town was very excited to have all of their children back and very happy and glad that you had done that for them. But you did notice that Hazel was missing. You had sent Hazel back into town beforehand with some of the other children, but Hazel was not with the crowd of celebratory people, whatever that means, crowd of partiers, sure. And you did determine that Hazel, after talking to some of the townspeople, Hazel had actually gone off with a group of people from another town that you had already visited. That sort of sparked a little bit of a sense of danger, as you know the last town you left was not a very positive place to be and was overrun by werewolves. So you headed out of town to find Hazel had been knocked unconscious on the ground, and she was surrounded by 3 werewolves. You went through an epic battle with the werewolves. There was lots of lightning and lots of moonwalking, and you had determined, of course, that you couldn't damage these werewolves with non-magical weapons, and there was a lot going on, but you did manage to use your magic to, and the green flame blade, to defeat to defeat the werewolves eventually at the end. The werewolves had also said send a message to the royal family, and threw a necklace down on Hazel. So you sort of determined that they had known eventually who Hazel was because they'd found this locket of hers back at the other village that she'd accidentally left behind. You also saw that Hazel was pretty injured. You healed her back up, but she still had bite marks all over her arms, and definitely worrisome that she had possibly come down with lycanthropy. You brought her back into town to visit the local healer, who unfortunately did not have the remove curse that you needed to cure Hazel of her werewolf tendencies, and learned that the full moon was in approximately 3 days, and that the closest place you're probably going to find someone that's going to be able to remove the curse for you would be the capital, which is where you were headed anyway. So you spent a long rest in the inn in the village that they set you up in for free because, of course, you saved all their children. And that is sort of where we are at today. I will give a quick description of the day and we'll send you on your way. But beforehand, let's do a quick introduction of who's back, just in case people haven't been here before. So, coming back from last day, we have Cirrus, played by that censored rat. Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back, Marcus. We have Argonas, played by Dustin Echoes.
Hello.
Dustin came in today and was like, I'm really loud, and I think I was really loud last time. And it was just after I was like, blown away by his voice in my ears in the Discord. So I'm like, yeah, a little bit loud. It was good. It was fun. Vittore, played by Saint Geronimo, also known as Yaron.
Hello, I'm the biggest fan of Lena.
The biggest fan of Lena. I told you, there's some big Lena fans here. Thank you so much for that sub.
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you. Add you in. Thank you so much. All right. Moving on. Lena is, like I said, currently not here, played by Call Me Ames, but hopefully Ames will be able to get her PC up and running soon. And if not, Lena is going to be quietly brooding for most of today. And we'll see what happens, and hopefully she can rejoin us and gets back. And if not, that's just what happens. So apologies for that. And Ivan, played by Mikey Likes It. Welcome back.
Hello.
And of course, we are joined once again by Claire, played by Bunny Baby. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
Yay! Alright, so that's everybody that's here today. And again, I'm Magma, I'm your DM for the Peekabou campaign. Sandra, Poxy Plays, is also in the chat today. Sandra is also a DM of one of our other campaigns, and she's also one of the sort of main runners, along with myself and Mikey Likes It, of Ken's Tavern. So if you have any questions about anything, Sandra's in the chat at the moment. Let her know if you need anything. Cirrus, or Marcus. Cirrus is DMing, currently on the side. Marcus is also going to be DMing a campaign super soon, so we're really excited for that. And then we have a few other people. The info tab stuff still says unboxes. Oh, my bad. Change it. But I think I might be the only one who can at this point. I'll fix it. But Marcus is also going to be DMing soon, so also joining us in the DM club. And then we've got a few other people that are interested in DMing very soon as well. So that is everybody that you are going to be listening to today. So wave hello. Quick Ken's Tavern PSA. If we are all sort of new players, I still consider myself a new DM. If you know an answer to a question that we ask or something that we're trying to figure out and you're in the chat, you are more than welcome to help us. I would very much appreciate it. If you don't know the answer, that's fine. And if I don't know the answer, it's okay. I'm going to probably move on the story and I'll come back to whatever I had made a mistake on later on after stream and fix it for myself as a learning experience. But just so you know, that's sort of what happens. We don't know everything. It's such a huge game. It's hard to know everything. If you do know, please throw it in the chat. I have a question for the DM. Yes. 42, that's the answer. Where's that incredibly charming Talia character? I don't know. She sort of like pieced out on us. Her like beautiful otter with her, and we like haven't seen her. She's my fave. She needs to come back. We've sent mail, but her agent says like she's super busy and like too famous for it. We're working on it. She got married to the Lord of the Sea. She's on vacation. Too many talk shows, exactly. Too many talk shows. She's like running a podcast or something. It's called What's That? A podcast? Very similar to one that we know called What's This? Alright. Okay, so you folks have all just finished a long rest in the inn. Hazel wakes up looking much better, healed, but still has sort of like the shiny scars of the bites all along her arms. You know that you don't have a ton of time to get to the city before that full moon, before it's possible that Hazel may werewolf out and go on a murderous rampage. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick speed through of the morning's events. First off, you wake up in the inn. Vittori, you get a knock on the door from our little gnome tinkerer from the shop. And Ratchet is his name. I think we called him last stream. But Ratchet knocks on the door with a little wrapped package for you, Vittori. He explains to you that he has finished off your motorbike that he has created. And he has named it the Bike of Infinite Glory.
That's the best name for the bike ever.
So
I
he
approve.
heard that you folks were going to be needing to leave pretty urgently in the morning, so he sort of worked all through the night for you and got that Bike of Infinite Glory finished. So here are the stats. You may want to type it into your character sheet and add it as an item,
Yeah,
Vittori.
wait,
Yeah,
wait.
and then I can read it out
Beep,
for
beep,
you.
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, wait.
Wait,
I have to get
wait.
my notepad. Wait.
Wait. If not, I can also send it to you later, but just in case you want to use it today.
Yeah, go ahead. Say
Okay.
it. I'll type.
So,
Say
while
it.
using it, it increases your movement speed to 50 feet instead of your
Ooh.
usual. It can be used for a total of 60 minutes before the tank will need to be refilled. It'll get you probably through
Yeah.
most battles, but long travel, you're only going to be able to use it for like 60. It'll also add
Yes.
an attack that you can use as a bonus action twice per long rest, which gives you a
Yes.
d6 plus 2 per attack, as long as the bike is fueled. So if you've run out of
So I
fuel because
can't
you've
smack
used it,
people's heads with it.
yeah, exactly. You won't do a lot without it being fueled. It as determined previously when I got some ideas of fuelable items, it will be running on flower power. So
He's
Nice.
every time you need to fuel up your bicycle, you will need to be searching for some flowers. So it'll run on flower power. So basically what happens if you run out of fuel, you'll have to do a search around the area to see if you can find some flowers, and we'll roll a d20 to see if you get it fueled up. The attack is a thorn rocket launcher. So it is a piercing, but it will be a piercing magical damage. So it is a magical weapon because it has been charmed.
I'm sad it's not run on chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk would have been so. I don't even know where we
It would have been
found it.
hard, but
It
it
would
would
have
have
been
been
really hard.
amazing.
So good, but it does run on. I like that it runs on flower power. I think that's. So that is your magical motorbike. Also, you can write this in there. For now, you get just the 1d6 plus 2 per your bonus attack. For every 2 player levels you increase, you'll gain another d6 in that attack.
Okay.
So you can roll it down. Or write that down. But when you get to level 7, you'll gain another d6, and level 9, you'll gain another d6. But that's for now. You just have the one. But it is a bonus action, which is really nice. I'm so
Still
kind to you. Okay.
You
Except for my
you are the kindest DM we know.
Exactly. All right, so he drops off your bike of infinite glory to you. Everybody hydrate. Drops off your bike of infinite glory. Lets you know that you can come back anytime if you need any adjustments. And he heads off. He looks exhausted. He's probably going to go collapse in his shop after working all night on the bike.
Good night.
As you folks get ready to head out of town, it's pretty early in the morning, but you're getting ready. You do get another knock at the door, and it is Arthur, who is the father of 2 of the children that you rescued. So he knocks on the door. He's looking very done up, really nicely. Has got himself dressed. His hair looks great. He just looks in a very much better mood. And he wants to thank you for all that you've done. And he drops off a big bag of money. So
Oh, yeah.
he's gone around to the
Money.
rest of the villagers and said, "Look, we need to do something for these folks. More than just putting them up in the inn. They brought back our children, and we need to give them something of value." So everybody pitched in and gave sort of a few pieces of gold. And so he drops off a big old bag of 400 gold pieces. Buddy.
Holy cow.
Oh.
So you
I'm gonna
may
do the
split that up.
kind. I'm gonna do the kind. No, that's not necessary. But if you insist.
If you insist. I mean,
He definitely insists. He says, we're okay here in the village. We're very reliant on each other, and we're very self-sufficient in this particular village, so we don't have need of the gold right now. You brought back our children, worth way more, so take it and use it. You're gonna go to the capital, so you'll probably need it. So, please take it. So he drops off the bag of gold for you folks to split as you would like.
That's a lot of gold.
Because 400, 400
Ivan
gold
picks
pieces.
it up.
400 gold.
This will help us
person?
greatly. Thank you.
We need
Should
to
we have
divide
a
this.
fund now?
Should we divide this now? Or do you want to
Do
still
we want
wait?
to? I guess we can divide it now before we leave.
Yeah, let's just do it right now.
All right, so I suggest dividing it into 6 ways because
Yes.
that's the whole party.
So, that'd
Okay.
be- so everyone
Yes, yeah.
gets 67 gold pieces.
Think you guys can keep it.
What? But you're part of
I
the
should do
party.
anything for this. I would feel bad taking your guys' money. No.
You helped us save Hazel from the werewolves.
Yeah.
No, wait a
You
minute,
helped
That's
me.
true.
Adonis.
Buddy Baby was
Kick
Shut up.
those. Yeah.
Shut up, Dory.
Claire was pretty overpowered for the werewolf fight. That's true.
Yeah, you did most of the work.
I just held them in place.
Well, I
Yeah.
certainly didn't do anything for the werewolf fight. I wasn't present.
But you did help save the children, and you brought them back.
Yeah,
So
true.
67 to each person,
Okay.
67 to everybody. Okay.
and then we just have to tell
Including Vittori.
our brooder, wherever she may be, that she needs that.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the werewolf fight, would you guys consider her to be more clever or more strong? Because, as I said, I have a few keep people in place spells, so she can't hurt anyone.
She's definitely more clever than she is strong.
Okay. It just helps me to know what spell to prepare, just in
Mhm.
case.
Oh, you don't need to prepare any spells. If she turns into a werewolf, I'll shoot her.
No, you will do
No.
Let's
nothing.
hope it
to
doesn't
stop-
come to that point.
I was hoping it doesn't come to that point, but preparing is just something that keeps her very much in place.
It's
Yeah.
preparing.
We've
Who
all
the
not
hell
worry,
killing
I have
Hazel.
it.
Where
I will hug her until she passes out.
I believe that you
Well,
can do that.
I can live with that. I can live with that.
I can
Yeah,
pass.
if need be, we can just make her pass out, but we're not killing Hazel.
No.
No.
Okay. And Vittore just calmly puts his crossbow back on his back. Like, fine.
Vittori, these coins are a little larger than you. How do you want to do this?
That's never been a problem for Vittore.
All right. I
He
just put the
carries
bag
his
on
stuff
top.
somehow.
I don't know how it works, but oh, we've got a follow. Thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank you for the follow.
Oh,
Thank you for the follow.
who was the follow? Because I invited a whole bunch of people.
Fiora,
No.
Fiora
That's totally for me. I invited
Okay.
everybody.
Liss.
So any follows we get today is Ivan's.
Were they referred by anybody? Let me know. I can definitely put it in there. Okay. So you folks get your gold. You've divvied it up, or decided that you're going to be divvying it up. Hazel has prepped. She's got all of her stuff
Oh yeah,
together.
Fio is from me. Fio is from me.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that
Thank you for coming, Fio.
follow. And then, of course, you are ready to head out. So how we're going to do this today, you folks have been already traveling a long way. You've run into the 2 towns on the way, and from here to the capital is very much a straight stretch. You make it to the edge of town, you follow back onto the pathway, or where you were before you kind of went off path, and shortly after that, you make your way outside of the forest and into sort of the flowing plains that go right to the edge of the ocean in Talamayan. So from here, it's very clear. You can't see anyone sort of around you, but as you start getting closer into town, it will begin to be busier. But it is more of like a patrolled path, and it's very easy to see around you. So this is a pretty safe road to be on. So you do have 2 days worth of travel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a dice to see if we run into anything in particular over the next couple days, but it is a pretty safe road. So we should be fairly okay. But let's do the first day. All right. Here we
My
go.
lord.
All right. So you continue on your way. You are like observe everything around you. It's very beautiful. Like this time of year, it's all fresh. All the grass looks really nice, and everything is just sort of flowing in the wind. The path is dirt for the first part, but starts to become more of like pebblestone pathway, and then gets into more stone pathway as it's getting closer to the city. You do not run into any issues on the first day of travel, and not many people on the path. A few sort of like small families that are on their way back and forth from the city back to wherever they live in the forest sort of pass by, but everybody is pretty calm. Everybody just kind of nods, and nothing particular happens on the first day. So you will proceed into a long rest once again, which doesn't mean a lot since we didn't have a battle, but for Ivan, you can roll again for your necklace.
Okay.
Princess Kitty Sugar, thank you for the follow.
1 point. I got a 12.
A 12.
We've got a
Great.
new
Okay,
follow.
that would be a charge. Yeah, thank you for the follow.
Also from me.
Yay!
Holy Mario. Oh, no. Wrong. No. Princess Kitty Sugar. That one is mine.
No, I know her in real life. She's mine. Thank you.
No. I know
Definitely
her.
not.
Quickly, Princess Kitty Sugar, you know me. Tell everyone that you came for Ivan. Oh, wait,
For
that
Ivan.
sounds really
Let's
bad.
be honest.
Never mind.
TOS.
TOS.
Yes, I know.
Never mind.
Oh no. Oh,
Anywho.
Let's be
boy.
honest.
I mean,
Everyone's
you
here
really
for
try
Ivan.
your best sometimes, but sometimes it just kind of crashes.
Ay. Amazing,
Yes.
but welcome
Yes.
in.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no! Oh no!
You've been betrayed.
Betrayed.
Betrayal. Alright, at least Theo's on my side.
What a battle!
Hey, Rogue.
Ah, that's amazing. That's so funny. Okay, so you make it through the first day. We get a charge on the pendant there for Ivan.
Yes.
And let's go through our second day. You're still out in the plains, so you've took a little bit of a camp out on the side of the road, but again, super safe. This area is not prone to a lot of bandits or anything like that as we get closer into the city. And a cheer? What? Thank you so much for those bits.
Thank you for the cheer.
Thank you for the bits.
All right, I'm gonna roll again for day 2 as you continue on along the plains and see if we run into anything fun or random. Oh no. Okay.
Uh-oh.
That was a nat 1.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
is that bad for us?
Or better for them, like we trip over creatures
Yeah.
that fell asleep in the road. We're like, oh, excuse me.
Let's
This
see
probably
what
means we'll get
happens for
nuked.
us here. Random encounter generator.
Oh, no.
Oh shit.
Let's see here. All right, we've got. It's a bird. It's a large bird. Just kidding.
Not again.
So good.
Just PTSD.
It's a
from
large bird.
giant vulture.
Kirby peeps.
Kirby comes out of nowhere and starts killing you.
Well, interesting. I love random encounter generators because, like, some of them are so funny. Like, no, they're not gonna run into a triceratops. Not happening.
I want to run into a triceratops.
I want to run into a
Triceratops. Anything's possible.
Suddenly,
D.
Galilean is just such a different thing.
They do move in herds.
All right, so you continue on your second day through the grasslands. It's a bit quieter today. You don't run into as many people. You see a couple people hurry past. You continue over the hills, and in the distance you see smoke rising up slightly to the right of the path. As you continue on and get closer, thinking perhaps it's just a bit of a campfire, someone's camping out at the side, you see that there appears to be a small group of some sort of humanoid figures gathered around a burning pile of rubble.
Oh.
Oh.
Roll me perception checks to see if anybody can see what they are.
I rolled a 16.
Cool.
13.
16, 13.
19.
Hacks.
Great. Okay.
I rolled a 15 on my dice and I have a
I
plus
know.
4.
I rolled a
Leave me alone.
15.
Awesome. Okay, pretty much anybody over probably 12. You'll be
I'm
able to
glad
see.
you know what this is, because I have no idea.
Everybody who rolled over 12, you sort of squint into the distance, you're looking through the smoke, and you recognize, whether or not you've seen a gnoll before in your life, but you recognize these as gnolls. They don't usually wander out into the middle of the open, so something has obviously been either pushed these gnolls out towards the city, or they're on a random migration, but you see a group of gnolls. There are approximately 4 of them. They are laughing like hyenas around this fire. And you can tell that this fire is built up of a bunch of rubble from like various like carts and sort of like horse caravans and things like that. So you can see bits and pieces of these like caravans and carts. Obviously they've been like sort of raiding people as they go by. There are 4 of them, and they're sort of like hanging around this fire, laughing and like poking at this fire as they're burning all of stuff up.
Uh-oh.
Ivan charges in.
What is it? Wait, what is it?
Wait, Ivan!
Hold on, what is it?
Ivan, come here right away.
Too late. Here he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He's running in.
Claire's gonna follow Ivan to.
I guess
Oh,
Sirius is
God.
following too.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
But he
Sirius,
doesn't
did
know
you,
what's
did you pass
happening.
the perception check?
No, I didn't. I got a 6.
You have no
You're
idea
like,
what's
what are you
happening.
running?
What
are
is
you running?
happening? What are they?
As we're running, I'll just fill Sirius in. It's like there's a group of gnolls in front of us. Ivan just ran in.
Oh,
Keep
okay.
Hazel protected.
Ivan goes running down the hill,
Yes.
and like you're far enough away that Ivan, like you're just sort of like, "Wah!" And it like goes on for so long because like you're still
my-
like
it's
so
not just
far
like
away.
oh my god, Monty Python in the Flying Circus.
Just like
Just
over
every
the
5 minutes
hills.
it cuts back.
Ah!
Claire is going to keep a distance of about 35 feet.
Okay. So the gnolls do hear you running towards them, so you're not going to catch them by surprise. But Ivan, you're going to be the first to hit this group of gnolls. Everybody roll me initiative.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay about 30 feet back.
Nat 20 plus 1.
Nice. The
I've
gnolls
got
actually
a
did
21.
that 20 as well.
18.
Oh, and they also have a +1. I have to do a roll off
Oh,
between
I also
you
have
and the
a
gnoll.
21.
So roll again for me there, Claire.
That's a 19.
Okay, so you will be first.
I've got a 21.
You got a 21 too? Okay, roll for me again. I just need to see where you fit
Okay.
with Claire and the gnolls, because you 3 all got 21.
Now I've got a 10.
Okay, so it'll be Claire, the gnolls, Dore. Okay, where else is everybody?
We got 9 for the rat. Oh, sorry. Technically not the rat.
Different.
Okay, Sirius. Is that a 9? Ivan, where are you?
I'm also a 9.
Okay, did you roll off between each other?
Ooh, we get a roll off?
Roll off! Everybody gets
Wait,
roll
can we
offs.
do
This
it
is
like a-
if we were
a-
playing Yahtzee, we'd be doing
Oh, this
really
is
well.
Great.
For the roll off, I got a 13.
13,
Alright.
okay.
You first. I'm 7.
Okay. And then Argonis?
18.
Perfect. Alright, the order's gonna be Claire, Knowles, Vittori, Argonis, Cirrus, and then Ivan, even though Ivan got there first.
I'm first. I should
right?
still attack first.
I know,
You
but you
started
didn't.
running
Yeah.
I mean, you were yelling the whole
Yeah.
way. I think
If you
Ivan just
were quiet, they might have been surprised, but they 100% saw you coming.
I think Ivan just tripped on his way, like running down the cliff, and that's why Claire
Yeah.
or like Bunny Baby came first.
I think it's more like, Ivan, you get all the way there and realize you didn't draw your axe, and so like you have to take a second to like unbuckle your axe.
And Claire can just
That
keep
sounds like an Ivan
spatial
thing.
distancing because
Yeah.
she casts.
Oh boy. Yeah, Ivan's like, oh wait a second. I gotta get my blade out here.
Hang on, time out.
Time out, hold on. Oh my gosh, Princess, thank you so much. Have a special girl in the house. Okay, Claire, that's you.
All right. Does a hang on, I gotta figure out what my okay, so +7 to spell attack. So 15 + 7. Does that hit?
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit. Definitely hit. So there's 4 of them. They're all sort of gathered around this fire. So there's 2 that are like closer to you. But yeah.
Cool.
Does
Oh
it hit
crap!
one
I
or
wanted
more?
to do something else. Oh, well, I'm not gonna do it this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the closest one to Ivan as he's fiddling with stuff,
Okay.
and I'm gonna guiding bolt it so
Perfect.
that Ivan has a chance on that.
Awesome. Okay, roll your damage.
That is 12, 21 damage to that guy,
Woo-hoo-hoo.
and the next person to hit him has advantage.
Okay, so you 100% murder this Noel,
Claire's a
like right off the
lady.
bat. So, like,
Just becomes a bloody mist.
like maybe that's what happened. Ivan goes to swing down at this first Noel, but Claire like guiding bolts it just like into a mist of blood. It just
Mist
disappears.
of blood and stars.
Yeah.
Now, does the advantage on the next attack transfer to the next?
I don't think
Person?
so.
No, I think
No.
No, I don't think
no.
that one.
She just obliterated this first Knoll with exactly 21 hit points. So on this Knoll, just dead.
And then for my my bonus attack, I'm going to pick another one and make him take a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. Okay. What did they have to beat?
15.
Okay. That's a nat 2. So
She is.
not gonna beat it. This one Knoll's like knocked off its feet a little bit by the explosion of its friend here.
Thunder bursts from the sky and he takes 7 damage.
Okay. Great. Yeah, he's like yelps in shock that his friend has exploded. And takes 7 damage from the thunderbolt. Perfect. Okay. Anything else, Claire? Got any more bonus?
No, I don't.
Alright, that moves on to the Knolls. So there's 3 Knolls. There is one that's still close to Ivan here, so we will, and he just got injured. It's gonna make an attack on Ivan. It's gonna attempt to poke you with its spear that it's been poking in the fire, so it's gonna be hot, but let's see. Rolls a 6. So that's only gonna be a 10.
the
It's
hell?
definitely not gonna hit.
Okay.
So it goes to poke you, not gonna hit. The other 2, their movement here. Okay, how far is everybody? Most people said you're about 35 feet back, right?
Mhm.
Perfect.
I
Their
followed
speed is only
Ivan, so
30.
I'm like,
You're with Ivan, pretty much?
no, I'm like with Claire, I think.
Okay. So then the other 2 are gonna come around the fire to try to get at Ivan. Maybe they all thought that Ivan was the one that attacked the first
That
one.
would be funny.
The first one is most likely gonna hit with a 24.
Yes, that hits.
No, 22. Bad math. 22, but still probably hits. It hits with a 22, and that is going to just be 5 damage for you there.
Okay, dokie.
Pokes you with the spear. The second one rolls a 23. I love how the first one just failed so massively, and the 2 are like way too good, and that's just gonna be another 5 to hit. So both of them run around the fire and poke at you with their spears, laughing like hyenas. That is around to Vittori's turn.
I'd like to try my new toy out and shoot them with like the thorn attack.
Yeah, you hop on your bike of infinite glory and like rev it. It's like, "Rah, and, but it's like it's so small. It's just really cute.
Yeah, but like right before I followed Ivan, because that's why I initially jumped on the bike, I just made a wheelie and just started driving.
Okay, just a wheelie in the dirt, and carries on. Okay, so you're gonna make those are bonus actions, so you can attack as well with like your regular attack if you would like, and then use the bonus action with the bike.
Do you think I could shoot my crossbow with like one hand?
Oh yeah,
Oh my
100%.
god.
In that case, I'd like to shoot my crossbow with one hand.
Okay. All right, go for it. So all three of the gnolls at this point are sort of surrounding Ivan. One of them is a little bit more damaged than the other ones.
Uh, did one have like the hot spear or two? I didn't
They've all sort of
catch
been
that.
poking in the fire, but I'm not changing any of the damage because of it. Just story flair.
Okay, I'd like to shoot like the closest one to
Okay.
me, basically.
Yeah, great. I'll say it's the one that's probably been damaged a little bit. It was a bit closer.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So roll your attack for your crossbow.
Where is it? It's a 26.
That's gonna hit. Definitely gonna hit.
I thought so. And then the damage is it's an 11.
Perfect. Okay, 11 to that first one. It's not looking good, but it's still standing. I'm still standing.
And then the
Not
thorn
for
attack
long.
after that.
Yeah, not for long. And then you've got your bonus action. So, yeah, roll your attack for your bike, for your thorn launcher.
How would you want me to roll that?
So just roll your d20 for your attack roll. Same idea. And I should give you a
Yes.
plus to that probably. For your bike, I'd probably say it's pretty spiffy. So I would add a +4 to your attack roll.
Okay.
So with
Which
your d20,
gives me a 22.
sweet, you're gonna hit. You spin around on the bike. Hit the button for the
And
rocket
then,
launch. And it's a d6
I-
plus 2 for your
Yes. Which gives me a 6. Oh, no, a 4, actually. No, plus 2, you said, right?
yeah, d6 plus 2.
Yeah, so it,
Good
it,
there.
it makes a 6.
Perfect. You finish off that knoll.
Hell
You hit it with the
yeah.
crossbow. It like you jab it into its eye. It howls in pain, turns around to look at you just as you launch your huge thorn missile into this thing. Sorry, I just turned on the music. I couldn't find the battle music. And yeah,
This is
it
perfect
dies.
battle music.
bit
It
late.
dies an excruciating
relaxing.
death from thorns and arrows. If someone wants to find battle music for me, that would be great. I just realized it was like the one thing I forgot today.
This is perfect battle music.
Doo-doo. Awesome. 2 gnolls left. That is Argonas's turn.
How close are the two gnolls together, and how close is Ivan to the gnolls?
The 2 gnolls are probably within 5 feet of Ivan because they've just attacked him. Their spears.
Okay, so we won't use that. I'll just use produce flame and throw a fireball at them.
Okay, good.
Ooh, that's probably not gonna hit. 11.
It won't hit.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay, you throw a fireball. It narrowly misses them. You just end up like increasing the giant campfire behind them. Just this thing like surges up, roaring flames. Cirrus, that's your turn.
Okay. Well, to be honest, I don't have anything. One sec.
Is that better?
Alright.
That's better.
Call lightning.
That's what I wasn't gonna
This
use.
is very confusing. Well, listen. Ivan can take it.
Fair, fair.
Let's
All right.
not risk it.
You were
Oh, no.
wanting to kill Hazel, Vittore?
For the sake of safety.
Okay,
Serious, if you want to do it, go
fine,
right ahead.
fine,
We can
Fine,
heal
I
him.
won't use the really cool lightning thing. I'll use a fire blade instead.
All right.
I'm gonna cast Flame Blade. I don't remember how this works. When you cast a spell using the spell slot. Nope. Wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna use Flame Blade and
Right.
try and hit this dude.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Did somebody leave? Oh, they're back. What's happening? Okay, that didn't hit. That 8.
Not gonna hit.
Yeah.
Misses with the blade. That any bonus or anything serious, or you're good?
Uh, um, I don't have anything.
Okay.
I'm so sad.
I'm so. Sierra still is like not sure what was happening.
Yeah,
So it's taking a
Sirius
little,
is out
like
of
you're
it.
just like throwing something random. You're like not even sure they're knolls yet because like you're a little bit behind. Ivan, that is finally your turn.
Oh, it was on my back. I pull out my axe because I was looking on my belt.
Oh, that's the wrong place.
Wait.
All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna roll 20 plus 6. So I'm going to swing at whoever's closest. Like we have 2 left, right?
Yep. 2 left, both are around you, so and both still have full health.
As I swing, I scream out, "Green Flame Blade!" And I go for a 15.
Uh-oh.
That is just gonna hit with a 15.
All right.
Green flame.
Green flame blade.
I know.
Very
he has to yell it
dramatic.
every time. I don't know why. So we have.
Secretly, Ivan is just a part of an anime.
Yeah, he is.
It is true.
To a
Really.
point.
I really want to do a
+3,
T-shirt with Ivan just yelling "Green Flame Blade."
And
Just
then I need
over
to
and over.
roll. And how close are they to each other since they both attacked me? Are they within 5 feet?
Yeah, I'd say so.
All right, the first one takes 17 damage.
All right. The
The
second.
second one gets set on fire as well. That's the
Okay.
fun part about Green Flame Blade is it likes to bounce off of people.
Exactly. Okay, and
And
then
he takes 5 damage.
Perfect.
And as my second action, I start swinging at the other one. And yell out, "Green Flame Blade!" As he just got hit the first time.
All right.
That was a 6, right? Hit with a 14. Did that miss?
That'll miss. That'll miss.
Okay.
Yeah, you go to hit the second time, but it has ducked underneath and does not quite get hit by your blade. All right, that is back around to Claire.
Okay, so Mikey, I'm gonna put this up to you. I can make them safe and like kill the rest of them in one shot, but you might take some damage.
I'm a big boy.
Okay. Dex
I'm a big
Dex
boy.
save 15 for everyone near Ivan.
Dex save 15.
Dex save 15.
Okay, and that may no Vittori. I'd say you're fine.
Okay.
The range.
Like,
What's
how
your range on
close
your
to
crossbow?
Ivan?
What's your range on your crossbow, Vittori?
Let me see. It's a light crossbow. The range. Am I a dummy or is it like not?
Let me see. I can pull it up if you need to.
Yeah.
As
Tell me
long as
where
it's
it is,
higher than
maybe.
30 feet, you're good.
I'm just trying to see because what I'll say is your rocket from the bike. I'll just put as the same range as your.
See, it lets me pick
Range is
the-
80 feet.
Okay, yeah. And it lets me pick up to 30 feet, so I would say it's just enough to cover
Yeah.
the remaining.
Okay,
So
perfect.
everyone there needs to.
So yeah,
make
then
a-
I'll just say it's. Oh my gosh, princess! Thank you so
Think-
much.
To be fair, I did say
fuck
I was
yourself.
within 30 feet of them, so I'll roll 2.
So if you can pick up to 30 feet, then Bunny, you could probably only do like a 10-foot radius and probably just hit the 2 Knowles and Ivan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, so then no one else would need to roll for that one.
Yeah, she's gonna avoid hitting Vittoria if possible.
Okay.
If possible. Thank you very much.
Okay, so one of the Knowles gets a 14, the other gets an 11, and
I got a
then
6.
Ivan got a 6.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ivan.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm a
So
big
all of them are
boy.
now prone. Everyone who failed that save is
Okay,
prone.
everyone's prone. Okay.
Ivan's just
19 damage to all of them.
Oh god. Okay, what kind of attack is this?
A wave curls up from the ground, about 10 feet tall, 10 feet wide,
Is it
and
water or
10
like
feet
stone?
long. Yeah, it's water,
Okay.
and crashes down on them.
Okay,
bringing them
yeah.
down
You
with it.
brutally pummel these 2 Knowles and Ivan with this wave of water. The 2 Knowles like drown instantly.
he's on my
Jeez,
and die. And then Ivan takes 19 damage and a little bit sputtery there. And you also put out the fire.
All right.
Sirius is
Very-
just looking up like, what the hell just happened?
What did we just come across?
That's the normal druid spell.
All right.
Was that
The
tidal
Knowles are
wave?
dead.
That was tidal wave.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Knowles are dead and you're out of initiative. Congratulations.
All right. As a reaction for that, I use Stone Endurance, which is part of my Goliath.
Perfect.
trait.
Great.
And so I saved myself 10 points, so I only took
Awesome.
9 damage.
Great.
Claire is going to, after that, go up to Ivan and cast. Let me see. Cure wounds
Level 2. Level 2.
at level 2,
Sweet.
Yay!
which I don't think it can do less than full health for him.
No,
No,
I've
I'm
taken
only going to
20
cast that at level 1. I'm going to cast it at level 1, not level 2.
I've already taken a lot of damage. I'm about half dead.
You're about half dead?
Yeah.
Even after a
He
long
got
rest?
poked a few times.
No, I've been poked. I've taken
Yeah.
10 damage from them,
Yeah.
and then 9 more damage from her.
Okay, in that case, Claire's going to druid shape and get a small cup in her hand and then cast it at 3rd level. Yeah, I'm beaten. Okay, so that is 3d8 of healing, and I forgot how much this glittering cup gives. 1d8 and 2, so that's 4d8. Where's my other d8? There we go. Plus 6. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20, 24 health
Da-da-da-da.
for Ivan. Anybody else need healing? This druid shape lasts a while.
No, I'm good.
I think we're good.
No, I'm fine.
I think
And-
you and Ivan kind of did,
Most
and
of the work.
Vittori. Vittori did some too.
Cirrus and I need to work on our aim.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Can we? There's no. Is there anything in the wreckage that they were like dancing around?
You can roll me an investigation check. You can pick through a little bit and see if there's anything of interest.
Ooh, I want to dig through trash too.
Okay, do the
No,
same
it's a
thing.
6. I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Oh, you're supposed to do guidance before.
I got 19.
Relax.
Ooh, nice. Okay. 19 for Cirrus. Argonis?
I got 8.
Okay.
Oh.
Argonis, you don't find anything interesting.
I got a rock. I got
Argonis
a
is like,
rock.
wow, look at this sparkly rock I found.
It's so pretty.
Such a cool rock. Good rock. 10 out of 10 rock.
Sirius, you find kind of a smattering of like gold pieces near the bottom of the pile. So you find like kind of 15 gold pieces that have obviously
Oh,
trickled
hell
their way
yeah,
down
gold.
Wow.
through these people's belongings. But everything else is charred, like beyond recognition. It's just a
Fuck
bunch
yeah,
of like
I
a
got-
pile of wood.
Hey, listen, I got money.
I'm gonna take my rock and go back to the group.
Do you want some gold?
I'm good.
Argonis?
I'm good.
No, I can give you like 5 gold. We can split it.
I'll trade it for a rock.
Yeah, I want your rock. Give me the rock. Here's 5 gold. Now give me the rock.
All right, here.
Thanks.
Aw.
Can I get off the ground now?
Fuck yeah, I got a rock
Yeah, you-
and I got 10 gold. Let's go.
I got 5 gold. Awesome.
I got a
you for the
fucking
gift
rock.
sub. Thank you for the gift sub.
Thank you. What are we thanking for? We're thanking for.
Princess gifted it.
Thank you.
Technically, it all counts towards me, right? Because I brought her here, obviously.
No. These are Princess's own entries here. Thank you for
No, it counts towards me. It's I don't know why I have that voice right now. It's obviously joined to me.
Obviously.
What
All
are you
right.
doing with those dice?
I've been
I know,
knocking back
right?
the
I know.
runes.
Kitty really wants these dice. Love it. Okay, so you're out of initiative. The gnolls are dead. One of them is completely obliterated and gone. The 3 of them are sort of dead on the ground. Sirius, you found a few gold pieces in the burnt pile.
I also got a rock that
and a
Argonis
pretty
gave me.
rock.
It's now mine.
Yay!
You better put that in your equipment list.
You are not allowed to take it away from me, alright? It's
It's going to be
Gonna
the
be
greatest
here
rock
forever.
ever, though. It's like you'll get it like.
Yes.
checked
Okay,
out,
hold
and
on,
it's,
hold
like,
on, hold on.
actually, like, a very rare item.
Yeah, okay. I won't do it now. But, yeah, put the rock in your inventory. Put it in your inventory.
Yeah, go ahead.
I
Go ahead
can't
and put
find a
that
rock.
in your inventory.
Just make a
I think
custom
I
item.
dare you.
Rock.
Yeah, you can make a custom
Okay.
item.
Literally just call it rock. Don't put anything else in there.
Yeah.
It's just a pretty rock. Okay. Yeah, so you're out of initiative. Everything is once again calm. You don't see anybody else around, so either the people ran away or possibly maybe ended up in the bird pile. We don't know. But you don't see any evidence of anybody else hanging around. Would you like to
Alright.
continue on?
Yeah.
Shall we keep going?
Yeah.
Everyone just shrugs. Like, great,
How
we
much
killed
is
off these
this-
gnolls.
How much does this rock weigh?
The rock?
Yes.
Let's say 4 pounds.
Okay.
Wow, he has to bulk back up. But
Fuck yeah.
Okay. You continue on down the path. You don't quite know what to do with the gnolls that you've just killed off, but hopefully now they won't bug anybody else since they're dead. And again, continue on your way to the city. You get past the second day, and the sun goes
Oh.
down. And you can take your second long rest of the trip.
Alright.
all right,
For
now
all
that
of you-
we're getting closer to the city,
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to the
Yeah, go
talking
ahead.
to the
Yeah.
group. Do we want to go kind of stealthy into the city, because I know Hazel doesn't want her family to know she's been gone? I think
Hazel
I think was
nods.
the case.
Yeah, I think
Hazel
that-
nods. Yeah, I feel like it probably wouldn't be super beneficial to head in the front door.
Like, do you know of any secret ways into the city?
She nods. Definitely. I got out through one of the side entrances. I think we could probably make it back through that one.
Would it help if I had a spell to make us all a little bit more stealthy?
I
That
think I
would
had the
help.
same idea.
I've already got mine prepared. I never take it off.
Okay.
I never
So
switch it out.
sad.
She's always
I'm
siding.
a useless druid.
I mean, I also have it prepared, but
We all have it prepared. What if we all cast it? Then we can't have like less than what, a 30.
does it? Do they stack like that?
I mean, it doesn't say it doesn't.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Pass without a trace.
Yeah, pass without a
Normally,
trace.
most things don't stack like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Sorry.
Because if that's the case,
Well,
then
why
full
don't you
druid
guys
just would
save
walk
your
around
spell
everywhere.
slots? Because at nothing else, I have that guiding bolt that doesn't take a spell slot.
Okay.
Just in case we have to do anything.
Alright, I will sit back down and meditate on the spells.
This is the only
Just-
reason I offer Clay to do it.
Hover over Argonis and put the rock on his head to help him meditate. I
Um,
hope that
This rock is a lot heavier than I thought it would be. What is it, like 4 pounds?
it is exactly 4 pounds. You're right.
Ivan was trying to sit on the rock on top of him.
Do not sit on my rock. It
I was
just scratches.
perching.
okay, hold on. Hold on.
What is this?
Are you ready for
the-
this? I found a really fun pet rock cantrip.
Oh my god.
Yes.
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 Okay. So, Cirrus, you kind of like have this weird connection to this rock that you got from Argonis. You kind of sit throughout the night. You decide, like, you need to get some stuff off your chest, so you start talking to this pet rock. So here's the cantrip that I found that I'm gonna save, and I'll send it to you afterward. It's called Pet Rock. Casting time takes 10 minutes. The duration is 24 hours. You pick up a rock no larger than a 1-foot cube and whisper to it encouragingly. After doing so, it becomes magically animated for the duration. The pet
Oh my
rock
God.
innately knows your location and has tremor sense to 30 feet. You may command your pet rock verbally as an action on each of your turns to slide, roll, or wobble up to 30 feet, including jumping up to 5 feet, though if you don't, it will simply follow you eagerly. Your pet rock cannot talk, but people have reported their pet rocks growling, squeaking, and purring. Pet rock counts as a construct with an armor class of 15 and hit points, strength score, and dexterity score are each equal to your spell save DC. In addition, it has resistance to all damage, but thunder and force and immunity to poison and psychic damage, as well as the charmed exhaustion, blah 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 blah. It automatically fails saving throws and ability checks against any other effects and conditions except for athletics. It can't attack or take the help action, but counts as an ally and can move or shove in combat. You can only have one pet rock at a time. This is like, wait, you can only have one pet rock at any time, and attempting to create another will result in your previous one dying of sadness.
God.
This is gold. This is like gold.
Dying of
awesome.
sadness.
The pet rock's maximum size increases when you reach 5th level to become a 3-foot cube, 11th level to become a 5-foot cube, and 7th level to become a 10-foot cube. When
Seriously?
recast
Oh my
at higher
God.
levels,
Ludo
the rock
from
may
the
grow if you
Labyrinth.
wish.
Oh.
You know what? You gave me this rock because you thought it was just a rock, but let me tell you something, bud.
I feel like I got gypped.
I'll send
I
you the
gave you
link.
5 gold. You gave me a
Pet
friend.
I'll send you the link in the game chat to
Oh,
this created cantrip, and it's absolutely canon now. 100% we're using
That
that.
is amazing.
So you now have the cantrip
That is-
pet rock.
Oh my god.
Okay, alright, back to the game. I just found that really funny and like needed it to be included. Okay. Awesome. So you've had your long rest. Ivan, go ahead and roll for your pendant.
I did.
Perfect. Did you pass or fail on that one?
It's a 2.
Ugh, shoot. Okay, so we're 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5?
I still have. Oh, where is it at? Where's my note? Where's my note? I'm 3 of 5.
Okay, sweet. Alright. I gotta get ready with that stuff just in case though.
Mm-hmm.
I could go down the path pretty soon. Alright, so you wake up. It is now sort of like the dawn of the 3rd day.
Oh, no.
And you should be very close to the city, but you do know that the next evening is the full moon. So you are on the biggest time crunch now. You all gather up your things and continue on the path. Once again, it's pretty safe looking. There isn't any more knolls that you run into. And as you get closer, you start to run into like other pathways that are joining into this main road and other people that are slowly making their way towards the city. As you continue on down the path, the road becomes bigger and bigger and bigger until it's not just sort of people walking, it's all of the carts, all of the bustle of trade. People are sort of yelling at each other as everyone's getting in the way as you get closer to the city, and you can see it in the distance. It rises up in front of you. It has a huge wall that runs all the way around the city, built of white stone. Around the city walls are sort of where the sort of lower class lives, so there's little like shanties and little sort of stalls set up, and then spread out from the castle or sort of a bit of farmland where there's various farms and things like that that are set up to grow food and crop and raise animals. At this point, the main road that you are on leads right to the front gate of the castle.
And were we under like the stealth spell or not?
Claire's going to cast that spell right now.
Okay.
Everyone adds a +10 to their stealth. Just find where that is. Okay.
So are we all trying to be stealthy, or are we just trying to make?
Yeah, we're
Hazel be
all stealthy. We're all stealthy, and anyone, as long as you're within 30 feet of Claire, will get a +10 to stealth.
Okay, in that case, I'd like to grab a leaf from the from the ground and hand it to Ivan and say, "This is the leaf of stealthiness."
Stealthiness.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. He was drunk whenever he was doing that shtick.
Severely, yes.
It might work. I hope it does.
Okay.
I
Put it on
gave
your
him
head.
that stick when he was shit.
Ivan, just stay close to me, okay?
I put it in chat, but as we get closer to the city, Argonis is gonna put his hood back over his head because crowds aren't. He doesn't like crowds.
I kind of move my vulture head down a little so they can't see my face.
Ivan,
Mm.
the leaf of stealth only works if you're close to me, so just stay. No running off, please.
No, it won't be that bad. Okay.
All right.
I go over and I hold Hazel's hand.
Yeah.
And I keep her close to me.
Hazel, do you want to
fact-
lead the way?
Yeah.
Since,
Hazel. Do not take Hazel away from me.
Okay.
Last time Hazel left Cirrus, she got bit by a bullet
Yeah.
hole.
Why do you think Ivan is all over her right now? He is protecting. I protect.
Okay. Hazel
Yeah.
takes a look around at sort of the crowds around her, and she looks at the castle. She sort of gives a little point to sort of the left-hand side of the castle, and sort of shuffles off through the crowd to the left of the path.
I follow.
Claire is also going to give her resistance.
Okay. And what does that do for her?
She gets a D4 for any saving throw
Okay. Sweet.
for the next little bit, very
Alright.
short while.
Okay. Cool.
5 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. Hazel leads you folks sort of to the side of the path. She continues on down the side of the path because to your left is sort of an open space. But as you start getting into the area where there's kind of farmland and then the bits of like sort of the lower class housing that is outside of the castle walls, she sort of slips off onto a smaller path that's leading between houses.
Claire's gonna sneak and follow her, trying to keep pretty close to her and the rest of the group.
Yeah, she gestures for all of you to make sure that you're all following really close behind.
Yeah.
And then continues on through the little houses. So as you go through, it's not that it's a very like everybody looks still fairly healthy in this outer area of the castle. It's not really run down at this point. Like it still looks like an okay place to live. They're just not as protected as the inside of the castle wall. Everyone still looks decently happy outside the walls. They're having, there's little stalls set up. Everybody's selling things. There's kids running around. It all looks still like an okay place to live, which is okay. And as Hazel continues on, she keeps her head ducked, even though that you have all the stealth on. She is gonna roll a stealth roll just to make sure that no one is recognizing her as you down these paths.
She has a +10 to that.
Yeah, that's a 29. Super stealth. Nobody recognizes her. She's got her hood pulled up, and she's like covered her face with her hair so that no one recognizes her. Super stealthy, and you all make your way down the path. You follow the path. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought to myself, how can I be stealthy since I'm a mouse wearing clothes driving a motorbike?
Right? It's a pretty quiet motorbike. Runs on
Yeah,
flower
but,
power.
like, someone has to like notice that.
I mean,
Yeah,
the entire
right.
group they have to notice. I mean, you got a
Right.
dragonborn, a devil,
Yeah.
or demon. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, that's
There's a girl
true.
with giant bunny ears.
Yeah,
She's got a
yeah,
foot
exactly.
of extra height off of her bunny
Yeah,
ears.
all right. Okay, good point.
Oh.
Everybody roll me a stealth roll.
Oh no!
Alright,
no.
Sorry,
you want
sorry
to
for
complain?
saying
You want to
something.
complain?
You want to play it this way? We're
26.
gonna play it this way.
Okay,
25.
26, you're fine. 25, you're fine.
21.
27.
So I'm gonna have
Oh,
to
no,
roll this
no,
twice
sorry,
because I
17.
have. Does anybody have disadvantage because of their armor in stealth?
I got leather armor, so no.
Okay.
I think
I have
everybody's like
disadvantage.
druids and stuff. Alright, roll twice.
Yeah.
And add 10 to each.
Clang, 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 clang.
Whoops, I ran the wrong one. So one of them is 7.
So 17.
So that's 17. And the other one I'll roll in this correct area. And 11 for the other.
A
So
total
21.
11? 21. Okay. You pass. I rolled, the people rolled low. So, yeah, you folks sort of scamper on through, sorry, all this little village. Nobody really notices you. This is a big city. They see lots of people all the time. So it's really not as big of a deal as it might be expected. It is an odd grouping to have together, but they do see a lot of different people walk through the city. So they don't really notice you. They're all busy going about their day, earning money, being kids who are running around. So they don't notice anything strange about the party.
Can I
Sorry?
make a perception?
Sure. What are you looking for?
Just see if I
Sure.
I got a 12.
Okay. You don't notice anything special. It's just part of town. It's just really busy and bustling. Lots of people here. It's bigger than any of the other sort of towns you've come across. There's tons of people. But you don't see anything specific. Okay. Continue on down your path. Hazel darts down a path to the right, gestures for all of you to follow, and you run into the side of the castle wall. So the wall
Ow.
stretches up. It stretches up above you. Huge white blocks of stone make up this wall. It is probably a good 25 feet high, and you're not quite sure of like the width from where you can see it from here, but it's a very solid looking wall. Hazel sort of pokes her head out of this little alcove that she's ducked into that's in the bottom of this wall. It looks to be where like bars would be, for a bit of where like water would run through. But the bars have been taken away from this little hole. It's pretty tight. She can squeeze through very easily. Obviously, Vittoria would get through pretty easily. Claire would get through easily. But any of my tall, dragonborn, demon,
Half giant.
half giant folks, roll me kind of like an athletics check to see
Oh,
if
jeez.
you're gonna be able to kind of squeeze your way into this little.
Oh, I
Okay.
will.
Otherwise, Vittorio will have to get some butter to like.
Yeah,
dilute the,
exactly.
I got a 12.
Ooh.
I got a 25.
Aw.
Okay.
Do the other druids know polymorph?
Ooh.
I mean, I can turn into something smaller.
You're gonna
Yeah,
have
you can-
to. A 12 would be very tight. Yeah, I would recommend changing into something smaller.
Alright,
Here's
I'm
what you
gonna-
For some reason, Argonas's tail just gets in the way. Like, can't figure out how to like get through
Okay,
this
maybe
wall.
if I rotate this way. No, wait.
Ivan uses
How
his
am I
like
able to
chair
get through
perching
you?
skills somehow
Yeah.
like help him through this pathway.
Would a wolf?
Yeah, a wolf would fit.
All right, I'll
definitely.
switch it to my normal silver wolf beast form.
I pick him up.
perfect.
Arr?
I toss him over the wall.
How tall is this?
It's 25 feet tall.
I try to toss him to the top. How's that?
Okay.
Toss.
Argonas, you can roll me a
You can try to squeeze out of it.
strength or an athletics check to see if you get away from Ivan. Ivan, you're
Oh,
inside
jeez.
the wall currently, so you can roll an athletics check, but with disadvantage. To see if
Another
you can throw
check.
him.
Strength or athletics? Well, neither one's good for me, so that's a 10.
Okay.
All right, I got a
Force Mike.
22 and a 20.
You rolled a 20
Oh,
to 22.
Oh,
Oh my
my
God.
god.
You pick up Argonas. and you
Do
try
I
to
have
toss him up the wall.
Okay, we
As
are
I'm-
trying-
As I'm
Stealth.
flying, do I have time to drop my wolf form and cast spider climb?
I'll
So I
allow
stick
it.
to the wall.
I'll allow it. You get tossed up by Ivan with like one arm outside the wall hole
What a
where he
waste
is.
of druid shape.
Throws up this wolf formed Argonas. You kind of go "Aroo!" like up this wall. You revert back into your regular form, cast spider climb, and like stick to the wall like this strange dragon Spider-Man.
I'm just gonna walk
Spider-Man.
down the wall like, Ivan, what did I tell you about throwing me?
You do it really well.
Oh, please
No!
stop throwing.
I'm getting better at it.
Okay, we'll get better at it with people who want you to throw them. Okay.
Well, he said.
Claire's going to back up from Ivan a tiny bit.
I thought that's what he wanted. He wolfed at me.
No, he turned into a wolf so he can squeeze through.
Well, he didn't say that.
Yeah, because
Oh
he
wait,
was a
now I have
wolf.
to. Oh, now I have to use my other.
You climb over. Climb over. You're already up on
Yeah,
the
I'm just.
wall.
I will meet you guys on the other side, and I just turn around and start walking back up the wall.
I got.
You're trying to be stealthy.
No, I don't have anything. I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
Okay, so how close does Argonas have to be to still have the stealth thing?
30.
30 feet.
Okay, so you'll just be within that when you hit the top of this 25-foot wall. So you still have the stealth. So what we'll do is I'm gonna follow Argonas for a little bit here.
I just
Okay.
crawl up the wall, just
Yeah,
muttering.
you
to
like
myself.
lizard
Right,
up
right.
the wall, like, and like make it to the top and peer over. I'm gonna roll an entirely luck chance to see if there's anybody up at this particular
Please.
spot of the wall.
Please, no.
You see one guard. He's not currently facing you. He is sort of looking down into the crowd outside of the wall, but he's face away from you on the wall, just the way it curves. So he's not
Alright,
currently
can I-
facing you, and you can see that in front of you there's about like sort of a 10-foot stretch of wall here before you'd have to climb down the other side.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna, as quietly as I can, hop over the side, tiptoe to the other end, and jump or hop over the other.
Cool, roll me a stealth check.
Uh,
You still have the plus 10.
dice don't fail me now. 14.
Okay, we'll roll for this guard. Ooh,
Did you add the plus 10 to that?
Yes,
you'll pass.
Oh.
Your dice failed you.
it did.
He only rolled a 5.
Oh.
You'll
Oh
pass.
thank God.
Oh my lord.
So yeah, this particular guard doesn't quite see you, doesn't have very much of an intelligence or wisdom here
Guard
for
of the
any
year right there.
perception. And yeah, yawns, sort of gives a stretch. Pretty boring day. And you make it away across the wall, and you can crawl down the other side. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew, you make your way through this sort of muddy pathway underneath the wall. Hazel leads you through. It winds a little bit, but you make it through sort of the 10 foot of the wall and out the other side, where you reunite with Argonis, who climbs down the wall to join you.
See, you're fine.
You just wasted his druid shape.
No, he wasted it.
No, you did. You threw
I
him.
didn't use it.
No bickering.
Can I remind you that we probably have guards surrounding us right now?
Yeah. Everybody
Where?
quiet.
I start looking for him.
Shh.
All right. You find yourself, so you've made your way into the actual walled part of the city. So on the other side of the wall here, you see you're on sort of a lane that connects with this main street, where you can see a lot of the sort of nicer houses. So these ones are more established than the ones outside the wall. They're all sort of the cute old style of house in a medieval town. So this is sort of the mid-range for housing in the city. So they're just inside the wall. A little less busy on this street. This is sort of more the living quarters, so there isn't like any stalls of anybody selling things on this particular road, but it's a nice like looking road full of Hazel sort of looks to you all. She shrugs. This is sort of as far as the secret path goes. Really, the rest of it is just getting into the castle.
But
Okay.
We should probably
Can
find
Can I?
cleric first.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I've never been
Yeah.
in the castle before, so you're gonna have to guide us.
Yeah. I feel like if it's okay with you, I would much rather try to see if we can save Gilm before we look for a cleric. I think me going to any cleric in this city would be it would tell people I'm here.
Okay, but
We can disguise.
if it
you.
gets too like late,
Late in the day.
yeah, then we're gonna find you a cleric. Okay.
Nods. Yeah. One of the castle tutors, I'm pretty sure, is a cleric, so if all else fails, go to him in the castle, but
Well,
I agree. I just think Gilm has waited a really long time, and I don't want to make her wait anymore.
Oh, she can
Yeah.
wait more.
Roll me
You're
a
going to turn into a
this is the last day before you're stuck turning into a werewolf, and I'm just very worried for your well-being.
you
I
nods.
understand your friends waited, but I think she could wait a little longer.
Everybody roll me a
Weird.
I'd
perception
probably
check.
be safe. Okay.
God. I mean, isn't she like about to get executed?
I got a natural 20.
Okay,
I've got a
Argonis.
10.
Woo!
Argonis,
I got
as you look
I got 18.
out into the street, you can see the houses. There's like lampposts.
I've got a 21.
You notice a piece of paper on one of the lampposts, like a piece of parchment.
I'm gonna go over and take it off the lamppost and look at it.
Yeah. So you can see there is like a drawn picture of Gilm, and it says that basically her death is scheduled for later today.
Oh Jesus!
I'm gonna walk back
Okay.
over to the group. Hazel, where would they be keeping Giln right now? And I show her the pamphlet or the notice.
She kind of gasps, looks really upset. If we had been any later, she'd be dead already. We can't wait. I'm sure she'd be in the dungeon, probably. They keep
Okay.
most of the people down there that have done sort of the worst things.
I've got an idea.
Then we go there.
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you got, Yaren? Or Vittori, sorry.
Well, actually, I have
Who's
an idea.
Aaron?
but Vittoria is gonna propose the idea. What if we split up and like some of us go with Hazel to a healer and the other ones go and save Gil?
Yeah.
I like that idea. The problem is none of us have been in the castle, so we'd be running
Blind.
blind.
Well, there are probably mice in this city or in the castle who I could ask for the way.
Fair point.
I can also speak with animals. So
Yeah, but
There
I'm a
might be
mouse, I'm better at it.
cockroaches. I can
That's
talk
true.
to cockroaches.
fair enough.
Ivan.
I was suggesting for us to go to separate groups since we can both speak to animals.
Yeah,
about we
I don't care who's going with whom, but we need
Why
to
don't
think
we-
fast.
not take Hazel with us to find a cleric. Let's just go and find a cleric. And while we're doing that, Hazel can guide the others in through the castle and get Gil.
Yeah, but what if we find? What if you like find the cleric, but then Hazel isn't there, so
Ye-
Hazel can't be healed, right?
Can we can agree to meet up somewhere?
Yeah.
That's
So kind of like a
true.
shopping spree at a mall, right?
Sure. What's
Oh.
on?
You said one of your tutors might have been a cleric. Do you know where they would be right now?
Probably in the castle. I mean, usually they were just. We would usually take our lessons in the library, so that's probably where he is with my siblings.
All right, I will go to the library.
Can you read?
What's reading?
That's what I was gonna say. So what's the plan? What are we gonna do?
Yeah, I guess
Well,
Hazel can.
are we wanting to try to break him out of the dungeon, or are we here to sway and say, hey, that wasn't the person, that they've been framed?
Either way, I think I should go help break this person.
Break
Yeah,
the person? No. We don't need
Out
to
of
break them.
jail.
We're trying to save them.
I should go and help
Okay.
save the person.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Who
if we're
is-
breaking someone out of prison, I'm coming because that's my forte.
Oh,
Who is
yeah,
the
he was
last
all the bad
person to
guys.
go through the hole in the wall?
Not me.
I guess
Feels
technically it would
Ivan.
have probably been me because I
Yeah.
Okay.
threw.
Throwing.
So, Ivan, I'm gonna say that you're probably the one that's standing closest to that hole in the wall at the moment. Can you roll me a perception check?
I'm not going to see anything. Perception.
Use
Nat
guidance.
1
Oh, never mind.
plus guidance, so that's what would
That'd be a
be.
D4.
All right.
A nat
totally
one
working
plus
on
a
this.
plus
That's a
guidance.
3 to my nat 1. So I got 4.
Okay, Ivan, you don't hear anything from behind
Sweet.
you, but suddenly you feel an arm around your throat.
Oh.
Can I turn around and punch?
Okay, you turn around and punch the person. Yeah, roll me a
Fire.
quick. Or what's your like damage for your unarmed combat?
For unarmed would be 4.
4.
Oh no,
Okay.
6 now.
Ooh, 6.
Oh no,
Okay.
sorry. It is 4.
Okay.
Sorry, it was just to hit was a 6.
Okay, you turn around and you punch this person. And I'm trying to think. I think you definitely would recognize them. It is a silver dragonborn. He takes the punch like to his nose. Oh, ow! Oh, Ivan. It's Corinth, who you met previously in the city of KLE, the Thieves' City. He
Ivan
has...
was never there.
Oh,
Was
Claire
Ivan never
is
there? I couldn't
going
remember.
to
Oh, Ivan. Okay, so
take
Ivan, you
our-
don't recognize him. Then it would
our
probably
guide
be
was
you.
like,
Claire take out her dagger and like
Very
prepare to fight this guy.
was
Who is
there, I was
in? Yeah, okay,
But Cirrus
so
was there.
Cirrus. We would have split parties at that point. You were probably at the pyramid
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, I was doing
Wait,
the
were you-
cold case.
The cold one. Okay. I was like, which one would it have been that would have been the split one? Thank God we have somebody who recognizes Corinth.
I'm here.
Sirius, you recognize Corinth, the Silver Dragonborn. You met in Kaeli. His nose is like bleeding from being punched in the face.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Ivan, stop. Hold on. I know this dude. He's a friend of Gilm.
Well, why didn't he touch me? That's weird.
He sort of like waves feebly at Sirius. Hey Sirius.
I'm so sorry. His fight or flight instincts
It's okay.
kinda good,
I mean,
but also kind of bad because it's just kind of punch, you know?
I just
Not really fight
Which
or
is the great
flight.
reaction.
It's more
Just charge.
fight or punch,
Fight
you
or
know?
fight.
I didn't recognize
Fight
all
or
of
fight,
you.
yeah.
I recognize her. He points at Hazel, and I do recognize you, Sirius. So I was just a little confused about this grouping with the princess.
Oh,
But
that's not
Hazel like kind of sighs. I've met Corinth. It's fine.
I lean
Oh,
over to him. Sorry. We're
Claire will
we're
feebly put her
incognito.
dagger away.
Yeah, we're
We're
trying.
incognito. So right now, this is my wife. Don't tell anybody.
That's not his wife.
Corinth like
Jesus
side eyes you.
Christ.
Looks at Hazel.
It's a
Are
cover.
you sure you're okay with
It's a cover
this
for it.
group?
It's okay. Shh, shh.
Hazel nods.
And I just
yeah.
put my finger on his on his. Shh, 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 shh.
Ivan is still talking.
Hazel is just like she's just so exasperated, but yeah, Corinth, they're fine. They've been helping me. I actually came to them for help, and they've been helping me since Peekaboo.
Yeah, we're here to break Gilm out of jail.
He looks
Yeah.
around. Oh well, that makes all of us. That's sort of what
Cool.
I'm here to do as well. I guess you used the same pathway I did to get into town.
Claire
Yeah.
offers this dragonborn a hand. Claire.
He takes your hand, shakes it.
I didn't get to shake that
Argonis,
hand.
Argonis has been in like full like battle stance this whole time, but like as soon as he notices another silver dragonborn, he's gonna like put his staff back down and pull his hood back, like Argonis Frost Scale. Please, pleased to meet you.
He nods at you too. He's sort of not like off put by having another dragonborn there, but he hasn't been living with dragonborns for a while. So he kind of nods at you, but you can see sort of in his eyes, it's almost like guilt. So there's like something about that where he doesn't want to be super friendly with you, but he nods to you.
That's fair.
And sort of glances around at everybody else. So what's your plan?
No,
I'm
some
going
of
to
us,
read.
Read.
some of us were going to the library for reasons I'm not going to tell you, and then the other group was going to go and get Gilm.
Actually, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't read.
Ivan's confused about everything.
Ivan gets sad. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't read.
I can't read.
I can't read.
I
Do
have
you
no
know
idea
that
who
castle
Gilm
well?
is, but you guys seem to like her, so I'm out for a little adventure.
Gilm is
She's a friend of Hazel.
yeah.
Mm. Oh.
Hazel's like, yeah, she practically raised me, and it's my fault she's gonna be killed. It's my fault.
Not exactly, but
Yeah, Corinth is like, no, Hazel, it's not. It's your psycho parents, but it's fine. Hazel like kind of looks taken aback. They're not. They're just having problems right now. They're just confused. They're good people.
well,
I'm
I
sure
mean,
they
I
are good
certainly
people.
Don't treat my child this way, so I don't know.
I'm sure they
Well-
are good people, Hazel, but I'm also sure you might be a werewolf and you might not be a good person for long anymore, so we need to
Corinth
go and
looks
save
really
you.
taken aback.
Hey!
Excuse me?
Yeah.
No,
Werewolves?
he's just joking around. It's an inside joke. You wouldn't get it.
I pick up
And
Vittori.
now it's just like
roll
the first
me,
time
roll
I even-
me, roll me. Like, what is the deception check?
Deception.
Wow. Okay.
What did you get?
No.
Fun. Oh, I didn't roll yet. I'm just.
Okay.
Also, while they're rolling, we
I
have
see
a
the.
random
got
event.
you.
I see the random event. I'm pulling it up. You got what? Sorry.
At 10.
10. Okay. You pass. It's not the greatest
Thank
lie. You're just like, but you folks are so awkward right now. Like, he has no idea what to think of you because everybody's all over the place. He calms a bit, but he rolled a 2, so he believes you. He goes, "Oh, okay." It's a weird joke, but okay.
Just, you know, nobody else would get it. Yeah.
Even I don't get the joke.
Haha. Jokester. Okay,
Anywho,
well.
Anyway,
How do you
we
wanna
need to
put
fix
the-
Hazel's little problem then.
And we
Let's
also need
word it that
to-
way.
We also need to tape Vittori's mouth shut. Jesus Christ! Can you?
Hey,
Uh,
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Okay, meanwhile, we've had a
Little
random
problem.
event redeemed
Oh
here.
dear.
DM choice, so I've made it pretty random. There is a sudden rumble in the distance, and it starts to get louder and louder, and suddenly a flock of chickens flies past where we're all standing
What is going on?
and flies down the street. The rumble gets louder and louder. You take a peek out onto the street
Oh,
and
the
you
rumble
see
wasn't-
a whole group of people on horseback are chasing down the road after these chickens, and they're all yelling, and you have no idea what's happening at all, but they are all like running straight towards you. And these chickens are just all over the place. They're all over you. They're scrambling around the streets, and these people on horseback are running down the street sort of towards you.
I'd like to get out of the way, please. Thank you
I'm
very
gonna.
much.
Yep. I'm gonna
Same.
back up.
You back up, and all these chickens, like, some of them have gone past on the road, but there's still like 20 of them or so that just decide that they're gonna sit like on top of all of you. So they're on your shoulders, they're like sitting on your heads, and they are making really, really loud chicken noises as they sit all over you. As these people are riding their horses down the road. A few of them sort of pass by and continue on after this crowd of chickens. And then after sort of the horse riders have gone by, there are people just like running down the street. They're all trying to capture all these chickens and like bundle them up. And a few people sort of look over in your direction and see that you're here with a bunch of chickens.
Claire's going to try and convince the chickens to go back to those people.
Okay. How are you gonna convince the chickens?
She's going to use her vast knowledge of animals and be like trying to gesture them in correct farming technique to just go that way. Get off us.
Claire starts doing this weird chicken dance movement. It looks extremely uncomfortable, and all of the chickens sort of go quiet and begin to sort of like bob their head at Claire.
Oh, yeah, they're-
I make an animal handling check to persuade them to leave.
Excellent. Roll an animal handling check.
Ha!
Sure.
Ha!
Fancy
Yes,
boys.
it definitely.
What'd you get?
Yeah. 17 plus 7.
Okay,
So-
yeah. These chickens are all like bobbing their head, following you, and then they all like hop off one by one off everybody's shoulders, leaving behind like chicken poop over a bunch of people, and kind of march their way back into the street. where they get scooped up by all these people that are running around on the street. One of the people kind of looks over to you, like gives a friendly wave, doesn't stop to sort of investigate who all of you are, just gives like a friendly wave, picks up a chicken and carries on. And the rumble continues on down the street as you can hear everybody run after these chickens. It's just like this cacophony of chicken noises and horses.
Can I wave down one of the horsemen and just ask what was all that about?
Sure. You shout out to one particular, like, there's like this kid that's on this horse, barely handling it. You kind of ask what is happening, and he goes, "Someone let all the chickens out from the market, and they all ran away, so we're trying to catch them back. They're all supposed to go to slaughter today."
Oh.
Oh.
At that moment,
no.
Flurry just dies laughing.
He wheels his horse around like really clumsily. The horse does not really want to follow his instructions, but then he takes it off down the street after the chickens.
Oh, the chickens.
Not the
Chickens.
No wonder the chickens were trying to get away.
Yeah. Claire's going to just like kind of go up to one of them and just be like, "Can I buy one of the chickens? Just alive."
Yeah, okay, there's a lady. She's holding like a little speckled black and white chicken. She goes, "Well, how much you got?"
How much do you usually sell them for?
Takes a look at the chicken. "Well, this one looks like she's got some good meat on her, so probably 2 silver, 3 silver, I'd say."
Can do that.
That's a cheap ass chicken.
That's a cheap chicken.
I'll pay 1 gold
Turn
for
into
her.
a chicken for a
I'll pay
stone.
you 1 gold for 3 of them.
Here,
She kind of looks
Sinner.
around. She's only got 1 chicken in her arms.
Oh.
You don't even know if this chicken is hers, so you're just paying her for this chicken. She hands you one of the chickens. She kind of like looks around. She snags up a couple other chickens. "Yeah, sure." Hands you 2 more chickens for your gold piece. And by this point, all the chickens have scattered from your area, so she kind of goes running off down the street with your piece of gold. Pockets it, continues off down the road after chickens and horses. And now you have 3 chickens.
Oh, that'll be great for us trying to get inside the dungeon, being stealthy and all.
Yeah, the chickens are all like, "Mack, mack, 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 mack,
I
mack,
Claire's
say
going
just
to,
let them go.
Get them to be quiet somehow.
Break their necks. They're quiet now.
No.
So, how about an animal handling check to convince them to be quiet?
I mean, I can try to intimidate them.
I'm gonna convince them to be quiet with an
Does
animal
anybody have
handling
some
check
more?
of
Sorry, what
What
did
was
you
that,
say?
Marcus?
22.
22. Okay, Claire puts these like chickens down on the road and does this like chicken hypnotizing trick. They all go slightly glazed eyes and like they're just sort of very stiff, and you can pick them up and they're like really, really quiet. Like abnormally quiet.
I tie a rope around them.
Okay.
No.
I'm just gonna walk them. I guess these are our pets now.
Yeah, these are Claire's pets. Just 3 chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a black speckled one, there's kind of like rowan red, chicken, and then there's one sort of like fluffy white one. And they're all just kind of hypnotized at this point.
I'm gonna take Arceus out of my hair and set him on one of the chickens.
Okay. Arceus like kind of grabs a couple feathers on either side of this chicken's head. Just looks like this weird chicken rider.
I put some
Fun.
basil on a chicken.
Good.
And I'm going to see if Claire has befriended these chickens and like can get them to follow her.
Okay. You take a few steps out onto the road. They sort of weirdly follow you. Like they look super out of it, but they're like tracking you.
Good chicken.
So they all
Chickens.
follow you in a little line.
Good. I am the mother hen now.
I thought you were a bunny.
burning.
Oh, I don't know.
Awkward.
This was a weird, very weird encounter, but I enjoyed that.
I'm gonna
I
take
did.
Arceus back. know how
Arceus sort of
chickens.
pouts a little bit as you take him off of his chicken. The chicken does
Listen,
not
I'm
react.
sorry, bud, but I do not trust these chickens.
I just
He
look at
chitters
Arceus
at
like,
you.
yeah. I
I,
look at Arceus and give him like the look like, yeah, I know humans, right?
Yeah, he rolls his eyes.
I'm not a human.
also not a human.
You're more human than I am.
I don't think that's true. You are
Claire's
a
a
humanoid.
Fey
A
rabbit.
humanoid, yes. That's as
I
far as it
am
goes.
not a humanoid at all.
I'm a mouse.
You
I'm
stand,
from hell.
But do you have two
Well, I'm
legs
from
and
my
two
mom.
arms?
Corinth,
had a mom.
Corinth like steps in between you. This is all really interesting and everything. And I know we have chickens now, but can we maybe get going?
Yeah.
If we're gonna be
That's-
working together.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
side note, how the hell did Cirrus know what I meant to like? What message I meant to give to Cirrus? Because I definitely
super true.
didn't do it in like.
It's hard because
common
Cirrus
speech.
can talk to Arceus. So Arceus
Yeah.
and Cirrus
Okay.
do have a connection. We could say that.
You also
And that
you
you're
also
talking-
never made it clear that you were
Talking
Speaking-
in, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah. If you made it clear next time
I-
you were like speaking like rat mice speak, then we'll say no. But
It was
can-
a non-verbal communication.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
It's okay, yeah, but yeah, Arceus and Cirrus are able to communicate, just as like Talia and Harry the Otter can also.
Mhm.
I've allowed
Okay.
that. Cool. Okay, so you have chickens. Oh man, random encounters. Like I don't know. Good time. Corinth sort of gestures for all of you to gather around, and he pulls out a map from his bag. Okay, look. I got this map. I don't know how accurate it is, but it's the best I got. I learned that there are 2 more secretive entrances to the castle that lead into the servants' court. They run underneath the city. I was
Okay.
planning on taking one of those pathways.
Hmm.
So one, he points to the far sort of right side of the map. It looks to be sort of the end of the wall near the coast on the far side of the city from where you all came in. So when you can see on the map, there's the entrance that you all avoided, so like the main entrance that leads on a main road right to the castle. The city itself is right on the coast and wrapped around a harbor. So it kind of is like a U shaped, with the castle being at the bottom of the U and then the main road at the bottom of the U. You folks came in on the left side of the castle. And so you're sort of on the far corner to the left, the far bottom corner of this U. And then he points to the top right-hand corner of the U. So one entrance apparently is in the bottom of the guard tower on the one about that is we might have to fight through some guards to get through that particular. Now that I have more people with me, it might be a little bit more viable to go that way.
What's the other option?
The other option is we swim to the bottom of the harbor and go through an underwater entrance.
I don't like water.
I know.
You
I
should go
could-
particularly to go find this healer for her. I feel like breaking someone out of jail or rescuing them from jail would be a more stealthy mission. And of all of us, you are the. So.
I mean, it would be nice to have more people with me, but I can do it alone if that's what we need to do.
I could take the water entrance.
I can take the water entrance too.
It is the closer one. He points on the map. So the one in the water, it doesn't show an exact location. It just has sort of like a little X marked on the map. You can see a little pathway from there that connects directly to the long pathway from the guard tower entrance. the pathway leads right up to the castle. It doesn't show specifically where in the castle it goes. It just says castle.
And like the prisoner is locked in the castle, I assume.
In the dungeon.
I think,
Yeah,
we can assume that they've probably kept her in the dungeon.
Is the dungeon inside the castle though?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I
Right.
meant.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we
okay.
in
Who's going to the
Peekaboo.
library for the cleric?
Like the castle
I
library?
think it's pressing matters right now to try to save the person from being executed.
Executed, right.
Oh, I was thinking we were separating, but yeah.
Okay, we
Yeah.
can all go together.
Or-
My idea is indeed to separate.
I don't like
Because we
separating.
can save 2 people today.
Well, I mean, she hasn't turned yet.
Corinth,
But can she
Corinth
come back?
raises an eyebrow again. Is it still part of the joke? Who are we saving?
Yes. It's a joke. I was talking out of character, but yes. Joke.
Hazel sighs. We're never gonna get anywhere if we can't actually explain what's happening. She turns to Corinth. Look, I was bitten by werewolves. We're trying to get a removed disease. Someone that can cast it, and it's full moon tonight,
Remove
so we're a little
curse.
bit of a crunch. Remove curse.
On the worst note, if worst comes to worst, I can keep her very secure.
And I can shoot
Yeah,
her.
but can she
We're not shooting her.
can she turn back once she turns?
I believe so. I think
So
either
under the full moon, basically they lose all control of it. So she would be a werewolf, and then possibly in the morning she would be able to change back. Possibly. Whether or not she'd still be a good person is sort of that. But as long as she's fighting it and like hasn't accepted it, she's still a good person. It's just the full moon forces the change upon her.
and worst case scenario, if she gets knocked unconscious, I think she reverts back to a
Yes.
human form.
Yeah.
But that's worst case scenario.
Okay, so saving a life is definitely more important. Let's go.
Okay.
Should we go along the farther way that so that those of us who cannot swim properly should go through, or should we split up and meet down there so that some of us get a head start?
I don't think Vittore would be that great of a swimmer. So, and since I'm pretty small, I could probably go through the tower without being noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
So
just act very mousy. So that's, yeah, we could do that, and yeah, that's probably the best idea.
okay.
Okay.
In which case, Ivan's the only one who has to come in a little bit later than everyone else because I think the rest of us can swim.
I can probably swim. I just don't like water.
Also with your armor, it might make it difficult to swim.
Yeah,
What are you
probably.
trying to say?
I'd say
Sorry.
your armor is very heavy.
I don't know if I'm able to swim.
All right.
I don't
I'm going to
know.
go through the
I thought you were
guard gate.
gonna-
Where was that at on the other side?
Okay, so sorry, I had to distract Kirby because Kirby found a pen somehow. Was eating it. I don't know where he found it. I have to give him a snack. Hold on. God. Berkey. Okay. What was the question, Ivan?
Where was the guard tower?
Okay, so the guard tower is like the far. Here, let me see if I can show you my.
Oh no, I know it's not just on the other side, but
Yeah,
we're-
so
we're
basically what you'd
stating
have to
that-
do is like follow the castle wall around to the end. Would be like, unless if you could cut through town, but it's gonna be the far right hand side of the town. and it's just the last guardhouse on the wall. So that one's like easier to find. It like doesn't even need a map really, because you just have to find the guardhouse. That's like the guard tower that's on the end of the wall. The one that's in the water has like a specific spot marked on the map, like in the water. So it would be hard to find without the map.
Yeah, we're just looking at Cirrus and Ivan most likely not going to do well in the water.
Okay.
I mean, Sirius has hopes.
Okay, yeah.
Do very
So
well.
Cirrus, Ivan, Vittore thinking going to the guard tower.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Corinth sort of looks at the map and considers it. Who else would we have left? We need Claire and Argonis, Hazel, and then Corinth. So that's the 4 left. Hazel sort of looks at the map too. I think it would. I'm a pretty good swimmer. I would say I should maybe do the water. There's less chance of me being recognized going through an underwater path than there is me going all the way to the guardhouse.
That could also distract some people from like guarding Gilm
Mm-hmm.
if we're gonna have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
That is.
We can come in from 2 directions and
We'd have more chance that way.
right. And then I'll probably take the water path because I can use my last wild shape to turn into like a water. Actually, let me double check that. I'm pretty sure I can.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
level you're at? I think water's a lower level.
Yeah, I think water's level 4.
Yeah, because flying is a few more level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could turn into something that Hazel could hold on to
Mm-hmm.
and swim through the path.
Mm-hmm.
It would just depend on how long the path is underwater.
Corinth sort of nods. From what, well, like I said, I don't know how reliable the map is. I'm hoping it's reliable. Never know when you get in it, but I trust the person who sold it to me. And from what she said, the water path is water to find it, but once you're in the path, it's like an underwater cavern. So
Okay.
ideally, we should be able. It shouldn't be the long haul underwater. At least I'm hoping.
All right. I'm willing to go down the water path.
Okay. So Argona's down the water path. Claire.
Claire's gonna go down the water path. She's
Okay.
gonna use a druid shape to turn into something.
Okay, so you two. Hazel wants to take the water path. Corinth kind of like looks at both groups. It's like fairly like even. You've got a couple like strong people in either group. He's like, which of you thinks that you're gonna need an extra person? I'm inclined to maybe go with the princess, but if you folks want an extra hand in the guard tower, that might be where the most fighting's gonna be.
Yeah, we
Well,
might
technically,
need
we could use a torch.
Yeah.
torched on the guards.
Well,
No, like in
Dustin,
case we need
I mean,
to go
Argonis.
through the dark.
Yeah, Argonis is usually our torch. I can also produce flame though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and well, yeah, in that case
But
we
it
could.
would help to have a hand to fight.
Yeah.
Corinth nods. He rolls up the map and he hands it to Argonis. And he says, "You'll see the water entrance is marked specifically on the map. My best advice would be to follow the coast on the harbor and find the exact point and swim from there. If you can't find it, meet us at the guard tower."
Okay. Hopefully we see you down in the dungeon.
Yeah, we'll meet you there. He nods at Hazel, kind of sighs because he's learned that she's a werewolf. And joins Ivan and Vittore and Cirrus.
All right. Good luck, everyone.
Stay safe, Hazel. Stay safe, everybody.
He nods. You too.
Mm.
Okay.
Totally agree with Hazel.
Argonis,
Ivan?
There's been a
Oh,
hydration
let anything
redeemed.
happen to her.
Do we want to take a small break and use the
I swear to
washroom,
you, I
grab
won't.
water?
I could use a quick break.
Cool. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, let's take. How long can everybody play today? Just.
I'm
Okay.
good all day.
Okay.
Good as long as I
7
can
more
get enough time
hours.
to take a short quiz.
Like I said, I'm on vacation all week, so I'm
That's
good.
nice. Marcus, how you doing?
I'm
Yeah,
starving.
I can stay a
I'm-
little bit longer.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just take a quick break because I would like to get just a glass of water, and so we'll be back in a few minutes, and then we'll go maybe for another hour if we can.
Yeah, sure.
And we'll call it then. Okay, we're gonna go on a quick break, everybody. We will be back in a moment.
Okay.
All right, we're back. Thanks everybody for waiting. While we all got water, I was like definitely dehydrated. As you could tell, I kept losing my voice. So I was like, I need a glass of water. Okay, we're back. So at this point, we have decided on the two places. We are going to try both entrances. Half the group is going one place, half the group is going the other. I will start us off, I think, with the people who are going to the guardhouse because it is the furthest distance. So we'll start with you and see where we get to with this group. So this group is Ivan, Vittore, Cirrus, and Corinth. So the two groups split. One of the groups is heading for the water entrance, and you folks are headed for the guard tower. So you're currently on the left-hand side of the city, and you need to get to the far side. So you have a couple options. You can cut straight through the city, just follow the roads and cut as far as you can to the sort of northwest side of the city, or you could try following the wall, but that would be sort of the longer path, but you might avoid more attention. You don't have the princess with you now, though, so it's
I'm
less
just gonna be
of a
headstrong.
thing.
Just go straight.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
that's like
there's no
go the
reason for them
fastest
to.
route.
Yeah, there's no reason for anyone to stop us now.
Because yeah, at this point you don't have the princess with you. It's not going to attract as much. Great. Okay. However, you don't have the stealth, so as you are not now with Claire. So just
Yeah,
be a
but
little
we're
bit more
also
wary of
less
that.
suspicious.
Okay, so you're gonna head straight through. So you walk through. Sort of the part that you're in is the mid section of housing. So still really quite nice housing, but still on the smaller side. You walk through this street. You make it to sort of the main street that leads to the castle. And once you step onto the street, you can see that it's all this white cobblestone all over the ground. It's very beautifully maintained on this main path. To your left on the main road, you can see all the way down to the castle that rises up near the harbor. You can see the square in front of it, the castle, and in this square, you see that it is set up for the execution later in the day. There's a big pedestal that's been built, and you can see that they have a noose is hanging on top of the platform.
Can we sabotage it?
Yeah. We're all like, can we sabotage it?
Totally up to you. That's what you see to your left. And then in front of you, like across the road, it heads into more of the streets that are in the different sections.
Can I use produce flame on the execution site?
Sure. You're not super close at the moment. So do you want to get a little bit closer to the square?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you head down the main street. Like I said, you're not attracting any attention. Everybody's milling about this main street. Nobody kind of gives you like some second glances because you do have like a bunch of tall people gathered together. Various tall races in the group, and then like a mouse dressed in fine clothing. So you get a couple looks, but again, this is a big city. It's like the New York. They are not fazed by much. So you continue on and you make it to the square. You can see this platform rise up in front of you and the noose that's hanging from it. You see a couple guards are around the platform. They don't look like they're on high alert, but they are guarding the platform.
So, Cirrus, you want to set it on fire, right? I whispered to Cirrus.
Yes, I do want to set it on fire.
Okay, let me like distract the guards. So I walk up to the guards on my hind legs, look them straight in the eye, and start doing a funny dance.
Okay, roll me a performance check.
A 9. Oh no, a 6.
I start doing a funny dance.
You roll a 6. The guards sort of like look down at you. They sort of furrow their brows a little bit, but they are not like entertained. They sort of shoo at you and resume their posts.
I tried.
I'm gonna send Arceus in there to try and do what Vittori did.
Or we can do like
Arceus.
dance together.
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
guys can dance together. Okay, Vittori, Arceus, go and dance and distract the guards. so I
Arceus
can cast
nods, slicks back his hair on the top of his head.
it.
He's been ready for this moment his entire life. Roll a performance check for Arceus.
Okay.
And how many guards are there?
There's 2 that you can see that are directly with this.
I regret
video.
to inform you guys that I rolled a nat 1.
Aw.
Arceus like gets really nervous, like gets stage fright. He was really excited and looked super suave, but then as he like steps out, he starts getting like more and more nervous. And then he gets to the point where he just sort of sits on the ground next to Vittori and stares up at the guards.
All right.
I dance around Cirrus and like do a front flip over him and that kind of stuff.
Like
I
over
tackle
Arceus.
the 2 guards.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that works too.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Um,
Ivan, did you just say you juggle the 2 guards?
I tackle. I haven't juggled before.
I
No.
thought you said juggle. I
I
was so
juggle.
I understood juggle too.
And at that moment, like Poxy pulled out my headphones, so I was like, he juggles the guards?
I understood juggle too.
So good.
So
Okay.
The reason why I'm tackling them
Yeah.
is I'm acting as I'm drunk and I'm trying to find. I want to hunt down a tavern, and so
Okay.
it's not in a malicious like hurting them or anything. I'm just going to try and knock them over and
It's
get
like,
their attention.
hey,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah. Okay, so Ivan puts on his best drunken impression. Pulls out a collector Ken's Tavern tankard.
Mop bucket.
Yeah, mop bucket. And yeah, plows into these 2 guards drunkenly. The 2 guards looked super annoyed. Sir, back off.
Where's the
Oh,
tavern?
it smells terrible.
It's my
Wait, while this is
birthday.
happening. My birthday!
Well,
While this is
happy birthday, sir. One of them pats you
While
on the
this is
back.
happening, I'm going to use produce flame on the thing.
Okay,
Noose.
I'm gonna
Catch
roll
it
a
on
perception
fire.
check for them. I'll roll it with disadvantages. They are dealing with Ivan the Untamed. They rolled really badly both times. You will succeed on your.
Huggers, lads, let's go.
So
Alright.
Ivan distracts the 2
Set
guards.
shit on fire.
They start getting into it, like they're kind of laughing and they think it's pretty funny, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll tell you all the taverns, and they're kind of listing off a couple good ones. They're like, oh yeah, go see old Joe, he'll give you a drink on the house for your birthday, and like they're getting really into it. They're like laughing, you guys are all having like bad dad jokes and stuff. Meanwhile, Cirrus goes sneakily in behind and lights up the side of this wooden platform. It takes a little bit for it to light, but then you can see the flames slowly starting to creep up the left-hand corner.
Yeah, fire time, baby.
Alright, so I start dragging them towards a tavern. So away from their posts.
Oh no, sir, we're working. We can't go to the tavern. We'll totally meet you
Alright,
there
as
later,
this is
though.
happening, I'm gonna sneak off to the side.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check
Oh God, why do you
on
do
your
this
sneak
to me?
off. To see if any of the like common folk.
14.
Let me roll for them.
Okay. Please don't get a good roll, thank
Oh
you.
no. That's a 19.
Why do you do this to me?
You see,
I'm just trying to set stuff on fire.
you see a
and
few of
sneak
these
away.
people. They didn't see you light the fire, but they see you sort of sneaking away, and then a couple of them notice the smoke. And they go, "Fire, guards, fire!" And they're like, he did it!" And they're pointing at you. The guards are still like slightly distracted by Ivan. But they can kind of hear something in the background. They go, What? and they look back around.
Squeeze.
I'm going to hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to turn into a rat using wild shape.
Just poofs into a bat.
I am not here.
You're sort of on the other side of the podium from them as well, so like they can't actually see you right now, but they can hear people yelling fire, and they can see the smoke coming from the side of the podium. They're trying to drag themselves away from Ivan. Ivan, can you roll me
I have both of
strength
them.
check?
Okay, yeah. I'll do
Yeah.
a strength check, but I'm going to
Yeah.
try to have both of them in headlocks.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna see if they can get out.
I'm gonna
Okay.
climb up Ivan. Well, me and RC's are gonna climb up Ivan, I guess.
So it's strength. So just a straight strength check, just the +3 thing, right?
Yeah, strength check.
Or
Just a
okay.
strength check. Yep.
13.
Okay. They both rolled really bad. They got like an
Nice.
8 and a 6. So you're able to maintain the headlock on these guys. You're still laughing, like this is all really fun and everything.
Mhm.
They start getting really mad, like they're trying to pull your arms off of them and stuff, and they're yelling at you, and now you're sort of gathering a few people. So you've sort of started a scene.
I fall down.
Okay. At this point, I'm gonna climb up Ivan and like poke his cheek to kind of try and signal to be like, okay, leave them alone now.
So I fall down.
I would
and
like to
let go
just-
of 'em.
I'd like to book it in the direction of the tower.
Okay. Vittoria just runs.
I guess that probably would have been the better option, huh?
Corinth sort of looks between both of you folks.
Oh,
He
I
looks at-
forgot about him.
He looks at Vittori, like, running away, and then he looks at all of you, and he kind of, like, runs over, and he goes, I am so sorry about this. He got away from us. It's his birthday. He really can't handle the grog. You think for this big guy he'd be able to handle a little bit more, but, like, just a lightweight. It's incredibly ridiculous.
Another one!
Come on, Brian. Come on. Yeah, let's get you back. Let's get you back. Yeah, Monica's gonna be worried about you, old Brian. Like, come on.
Did you get her number? Did you pigeon call?
Monica's your wife, Brian. You've been married for years. Yeah, come on up. You know she doesn't like it when you drink so much.
I attempt to pull him down with me.
He
Oh
like
my god.
Oh my god.
You guys are all just in a pile on the ground. But at this point, like the rest of the crowd is just like they kind of get, oh, it's just like some drunk guy. They kind of laugh a little bit at the guards looking so dumb because they're all stuck on the ground. A couple of the other sort of townsfolk go over to the podium and they're like feebly trying to put it out, but at this point it's sort of lit up the whole side of the podium. And it's a little bit beyond the padding of some clothes.
Can't hold an execution if you don't have a noose.
Little do you know, they have a second sight.
Right? Everybody just kind of backs up as this thing keeps burning. The guards finally sort of squeeze out from Ivan on the ground and run over, and they don't really know what to do at this point. They start yelling at each other, like blaming each other. You were supposed to be watching! And meanwhile, Ivan and Corinth, you are able to sort of like get away and back out a little bit from this
All right,
crowd that's
one
gathered.
quick-
It's just riding
One
on it.
quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have helms on?
Yes.
And when they squeezed out, did they leave their helms?
Why?
For what reasons?
I'll roll. If it's above 10, they took their helms with them. If it's below, they left them behind.
Okay.
One left it behind.
Sweet.
Are you trying to disguise yourself?
Yes.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah, so you get one helm, but the other one kind of took it with them. You still have kind of like a few of the feathers that are stuck out of the top of the helm, like, or stuck in your armpit kind of thing. But yeah, you managed to get away with one of the helms. Yeah, so there's still this
Alright.
crowd that are all standing around this podium as it's burning. The guards are yelling at each other. A couple other guards start coming down the other streets to see sort of what's going on. There's one that's like on horseback, looks to be more of like a captain. And they all kind of gather around the square and they start shouting like, "Who did this? Where are they? Where did they go?" And you hear a couple people describing Cirrus. And
You'll never find me.
yeah. So everybody's sort of looking around for a very tall demon with a rat, but no one can see you, of course, because you are now a bat. So this whole chaotic thing is going on here. Meanwhile, Vittori is running towards the guard tower. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you folks here for a moment while we skip on back over to our other team that is headed towards the water. Okay, so this is Argonis, Claire, Hazel. I think it's just the three of you, right?
I think so.
Okay, perfect. So the three of you have sort of, again, I'll give you the same spot. You are in the bottom left of the city. The other group has just headed off towards the guard tower, so they have yet to do all the chaotic things that they were going to do. And you know that the water, like Hazel knows that the water from where you are is like straight into town. So this just kind of go straight into the city and you'll hit the harbor because the city surrounds it. Is there anything you would like to do?
Do we want to go straight through town, or do we want to like skirt around the side so we don't get noticed?
I'm pretty sure we can go straight through town. My cover should hold us pretty well.
Okay.
Especially since we no longer have Ivan.
All right, let's just stick to the back path, like the alleyways as we go through town.
Hazel nods. Okay, I agree.
Mhm.
So you sort of backtrack a little bit on the street that you're on so that you make it to an alley between a few of the houses. It takes you into the next lane, which is the sort of general stores. You have a few different types of stores all along this road. You find another alleyway, skirt your way into sort of the more high-end shopping district. This is more of where sort of the arcana and magic shops are going to be, a lot of the weaponry, arms, armors, that kind of thing in this area. You find another alleyway. Now you're into the sort of wealthy district, so it's where the nobles live or where the very elite live. So these are really big houses. They each sort of have their own spot on the street and their own little gardens. There's no sort of shops in this area. It's all like garden and walled houses. You can't see an alleyway to move forward through this lane because all of the houses have like a wall around.
Okay. I just looked to Hazel. Which way to the water from here?
She sort of thinks for a little bit. She looks up and down the street. I don't know. I mean, when I get to the water, it's through the castle, but we obviously can't do that. I think we might have to climb some of these walls.
Okay. I could probably do that.
So most of the walls, like, they're not super high. It's not like 25 feet castle wall type idea. It's more like 5 to 8 feet, you know, walled garden type idea. Yeah.
So nothing, like I wouldn't need a spider climb to do that.
No, like for you and for Claire, you could probably just hop over it. Hazel might need some help.
Okay.
Throw her.
Don't throw her. Claire gets down on one knee and offers her like a step up.
Okay, yeah, she steps up onto your...
propose.
She steps
Like
up onto
she like
your
has her
leg.
hands down.
Yeah. Steps up on your leg and kind of attempts to reach up to the top of this wall.
Claire assists her by helping push her upwards.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna roll a check for her here to see if she can sort of reach up far enough and jump up far enough to catch the top of the wall.
Guidance.
Nice. With a guidance, she'll hit 18. She like very like uses her athletic abilities to jump to the top of this wall. Like, she reaches up and grabs it, throws her other arm up, and then let's see if she can get over and pull herself over.
Does our opponent have to scream guidance before he uses it?
Guidance!
Like how Ivan has to scream
Yes.
green
Guidance!
flame blade?
It's
And
the only
if
way it
so,
works.
that's amazing.
It needs verbal, like a
That
verbal
is, that is
casting.
canon now. Just guidance!
Guidance! Like, you can see someone
don't
struggling,
know
you just
guidance.
yell at them.
You use it. It's not gonna work.
But she
Well,
manages
in that
to.
case-
Go ahead.
Oh dear.
In that case, next time I'm gonna do a distracting dance, I'm gonna yell it too. Distracting dance!
Distraction!
Because we all know that works so well.
Drunk performance.
Setting stuff on fire!
Then everyone just turns like, what did
Yeah,
you say?
excuse me.
This is slowly becoming an anime.
What do you
Okay.
mean? We were anime
We
all
were
along.
always an anime in our minds.
I mean, you guys already have a magical girls.
True, it's true.
Actually, serious. You should probably yell just flame of 1,000 suns.
Okay. All right. She reaches up. She pulls herself over the wall, and drops down onto the other side. Claire, your 3 chicken minions, make small squawking noises and climb onto you as you hop over the wall.
Got it, chicken minions.
And Argonis, you're also
Such a
able to reach up and just grab the wall and sort of swing over onto the other
Okay.
side.
Wait, how are
So,
we gonna get the chickens into the dungeon?
Just drown them. They'll be fine.
Claire's going to leave them like on the lake with like little collars fashioned out of leaves.
Okay, yeah. Claire, roll me a investigation check and see if you can find anything in the garden here to make a collar out of.
An investigation, you said?
Yeah,
Okay, that
or
is
nature. If
a-
you're trying to use nature things, use a nature check.
I'm gonna go with the original thing I rolled
Okay. Mm-hmm.
because I have a +0 versus a +3.
Okay.
So 18.
All right, that'll work. What would you ideally like to find? Make their collars out of.
Ideally, like some strawberry vine.
Cool. You find strawberry vine. So specific. You fashion these like
I know.
beautiful strawberry vine collars for these chickens. You attach like a little name tag to each of them and put your name on it. There's also space to name them if you want to give them names.
The spotted one is Pepper. The white one is Salt. And what color did you say the other one was?
The other one is like sort of like a reddish color. Paprika.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
cayenne.
Paprika.
Okay. Pepper, salt, and paprika.
Yeah.
Okay, you name all your chickens and they have beautiful collars on. They're still a little hypnotized, but they look like really proud to be wearing these really beautiful collars. They continue to follow you. So you find yourself in this walled garden. It's very well maintained. There's fruit trees, a little garden of sort of more like ornamental fruit and things like this. Is obviously no one's working this garden for a lot of food purposes. It's, you know, just to look pretty and look like they have a lot of money. There's fountains and all sorts of little pathways and little benches and things like that. On the far side of the garden, you can see the house that is here. It's quite large, like 3 floors, and built up. And then the garden leads all the way to the back of the house where you see the back wall.
From the top of the wall, before I come down, do I see possibly an opening that would lead out to the water?
So you can see from the top of the wall that behind this row of the houses, there is 1 more row. They are
Okay.
also, much of it is like the walled garden. There's a little bit of gardens and things. Like a lot of them have the fences and stuff put up. And then after that row, you see that it kind of drops off and it's at the coast. So you can see the water.
Okay.
But there's like another row of houses.
All right, we're almost there. So I'm gonna make my way around the house.
Awesome. You don't see anybody. It's pretty quiet. A lot of these people might not be here all the time. So you don't see anybody bustling around or in the garden. So you make it through this garden without any interruptions. You make it to the far side of the wall. Same idea. Everybody hops over. You give Hazel a hand. She gets over this wall pretty easily. Once again, the chickens.
Guidance!
Guidance! Climbing the wall! All the chickens, once again, sort of one by one, hop onto Claire as she gets over the wall. And then they hop back off to follow in single file. And then you're once again on one more sort of lane in between these houses with the last row of houses in front of you. This one's in front of you has a much shorter wall. Very easy to hop over. It's just looks nice, but it's not like super high like the last one was. So you easily get over this one and go across this garden. You do see like one gardener on the far side of this garden, like maintaining some of the tree.
She's just Claire's just gonna sneak by him and keep everybody within 30 feet of her.
Awesome. Okay, roll me a stealth check for you, like roll for the group.
29.
Okay, roll for your chickens.
Each one or
Just the
one by
chicken
one?
group. You can do the chicken group.
Okay. The chicken group has a 26.
Excellent.
Nice.
The chickens get real stealthy. Like
Stealth chickens.
like Claire, like walks through all stealthy, and the chickens just like look like little raptors stealthily following behind you.
Clever girl.
The gardeners notice nothing as the three of you and your three chickens make your way across the garden, up over the little wall on the other side, and you are now on the coast. So what it looks like from here is you're on a bit of like a boardwalk that leads around on the outside of these houses. You can see that there are gates from many of the nobles' houses that lead right onto this boardwalk, and then the beach in front of you. Here is sort of like a rocky beach, but it leads right down to the water. To your left, you can see that there are many sort of private docks off of some of these really big houses along the coast to your left. To the right in front of the castle is like the main harbor. So there's a bunch of docks that lead out into the water where many of the ships come in to drop off goods and trade goods. There's a couple little taverns that are right on the dock. And then you can see past that busy part of the harbor, it gets quiet again along the coast. There's less docks, less boats, and it's back to sort of like a pebbled beach. You know from the map that you're gonna need to get somewhere on the other side of the main harbor.
Okay. On the map, are there any like landmarks that would point like, hey, the entrance is by this area?
So you take a look at the map. You can see the X that's marked. There's a little bit of a jut out from the land, and the X is slightly outside of that. So it looks like once you're there, you'd be able to see that pretty clearly where that would be. From here, you don't see it, just because of the way you're looking at it, like straight on.
Can Claire kind of try and make a lead and try and, well, like, does she know about that jutting out spot?
I'd say you probably are all looking at the map.
Claire is going to kind of look around and see if she can use her wisdom and survival instincts to figure out which way that could be, like, based on her knowledge of the land.
Yeah, so from where you're standing, there's the harbor on your right, and it's sort of directly across from you, just past the harbor. So it should be somewhere over there. You can't from here tell like where the jutting out of the land is because it's just straight on. So you just see the line of the shore. but you know it is like it's across from you. You could either swim directly to it, like across the water, or you could continue on to your right, but you'd be passing through the harbor and have to kind of go across the boardwalk in front of all these docks where it's pretty busy.
How do we feel about swimming right now?
My intention was to wild shape into a fish.
Same.
Just a bunch of fish, and then poor Hazel.
So, hey, Hazel, how do you feel about swimming?
She kind of like looks at the water. I'm a pretty good swimmer. I've swum in this harbor quite often, actually. I'd be comfortable in swimming across. I don't know about your chickens, though. Your chickens swim?
I have no idea. Can Claire make a knowledge check to see if she knows if the chickens can swim?
Sure.
On a 15, I don't know what to add on that.
It
Just intelligence?
might be
Or
like a
nature?
history or intelligence, something like that.
Okay, either of those, it's
Yeah.
a 15. It's just
I'd say,
straight
I mean, yeah, you'd probably look at them. You look at their feet, like they don't have webbed feet or anything like that. Their little bodies, they're like little plump chicken bodies. Like they don't look very
Aw.
waterproof. So you probably wouldn't want to risk them swimming.
Yeah, no.
I googled it, by the way. Chickens can swim, they just prefer not to.
Okay. I'm like, I know all the chickens I've ever owned have not liked swimming, so I don't know if I'd want to risk making my chickens.
Can we?
Yeah, Claire's not gonna risk her chickens swimming, but she is going to find like a little good hiding spot for them and make sure that their collars are tightly secure.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of look around the boardwalk. Most of the boardwalk's attached to the houses, but you see one little spot where there's some bushes and there's actually like a little crate that's been kind of left in one of the bushes. Obviously someone maybe at some point stole something from the harbor and left this crate here, and it's sort of sitting on its side tucked into one of these bushes, and you sort of coax your chickens in and make them sit down in this crate.
Going to leave, like a little note on it too that says, "Chickens, getting fresh air. Owner will be back soon. Don't touch my chickens."
Don't touch my chickens or else.
Yeah. You don't really want to get into a fight with Claire.
Yeah, exactly. Especially not with her chickens. The chickens all kind of look at you as you leave and sort of like cock their heads at you a little bit. But they stay put from where you left them.
Good chickens.
Great. Okay, you make your way down to the shore and step onto the beach. The chicken's watching you, but not leaving. And you make your way down to the water.
Claire's growing to druid shape into one of the local fish.
Okay. You become like a salmon.
Is
I
this
accept.
saltwater or?
It's saltwater. It's the ocean.
Can I druid shape it to a dolphin so Hazel can hold on to me?
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so Claire becomes a salmon, sort of like flaps into the water. Hazel kind of laughs a little bit because it looks really silly. And then Argonis, you kind of wade out into the water and change into a dolphin. You do a couple sweet backflips. Hazel like ties
I'm
up
a
her
dolphin.
hair. She quickly like runs back to the chickens and takes off her cloak and leaves it with them in the crate, because otherwise it would really drag her down in the water. And she runs back out to the shore and hops in the water. It's a little bit cold, but it's not too bad. She grabs onto your like top fin, and like away you go. You make your way across the water. Okay. As you get into the water, you don't run into too much trouble on the first bit. You are slowly approaching where the harbor starts to get busy, where all the ships are moving back and forth, and it's a little bit of a busy shipping channel. So let's do a quick stealth check, even though I know y'all are super stealthy. We'll do a quick stealth check.
24.
22.
Great. I'll roll for Hazel quickly, but she is with Argonis. Fine. Oh, it's close, but she'll be okay with an 18. So you kind of deftly move your way through all of these ships that are coming in, and then make your way past the shipping channel to the other side of the water. You can see the other shore in front of you, and Hazel sort of points out an area of the land that juts out. You can now see it as you get closer to the side. So it points out into the water. You can see on the point, there's like a little bench area. There's obviously a little bit of like a park where people can sit, and it juts right out into the water. And it's pretty obvious from the side.
All right. Can I dip my head above the water, under the water, and see if I see an opening?
Okay. You check underwater. Both of my fishy marine animal people roll me a perception check. Or an investigation check. Give me an investigation. Because you sort of know you're looking for...
Okay. Natural 20.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Ah, I'm just losing all my dice. Is that okay?
that works.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Okay.
see a
Argonis, you peer
5.
under the... But Claire's salmon eyesight is not super great, so she can't quite see what we're looking for. But Argonis, you look underneath and you see... where the jutted out area points out to, you do see that there's a shipwreck on the bottom. It's
Okay.
not super deep here, so it's probably only 30 feet below the surface, as it's still kind of on the slope of the harbor, but there is like a shipwreck here.
All right, I'm gonna. Well, I can't really talk, so I'm just gonna squeal in Claire's direction and like start making my way towards the shipwreck.
Okay. Hazel takes a really big breath, and like hangs on to you as you head down under the water. Okay. You make your way closer to the shipwreck. You can see that it's sort of the back end of a ship. It looks like the front end at some point has split off, rotted away, or been carried away, and the back end is sort of shoved into the side of the slope. It looks in decent shape. You don't know how long it's been here, but it still looks fairly solid. There's obviously stuff growing off of it and barnacles. Seaweed is swaying in the movement of the water. There's a few fish scattered around, and it looks relatively like the back of a ship, but you can tell that there's something dark within where like the captain's quarters of the ship would. It looks very dark through the doorway.
All right. I'm going to slowly move closer. Do I see anything in the opening? Like,
It's pretty dark. You don't see anything from where you are.
okay. Go ahead, Claire.
Claire
I thought
is going to like swim a little bit ahead because she's a little bit smaller, and see if she can identify anything dangerous for the rest of the group.
Sure.
Anybody getting
Okay.
hurt.
Claire the salmon swims a little bit closer up to this sort of doorway. Claire, roll me a perception check.
Something I can actually do, perhaps. Please. Nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
You start swimming closer to this door, Claire, and immediately you get the sense that you're not alone. There's something else in that doorway.
Oh,
Can
boy.
I tell what it is?
It's bigger than you, and so you can feel sort of the movement of water. Like your little salmon body can like sense that there's something moving the water inside that door, and it feels big.
Claire's gonna go back and like kind of stop the others. Like,
It's a kraken.
Let's hope not. I am a fish.
It is a kraken. I'm calling it
We
now.
have a fish, a dolphin, and a human. We are not doing well.
No.
Turned into a shark.
I'm all out of wild shapes.
I have one more wild shape, but I don't think we want to use it for this particular
Right.
encounter. I mean, unless I turn into something made out of stars, in which case I don't know if that would be able to breathe underwater.
Mhm.
Or does it even breathe?
Don't know.
Such a good question. I guess we could maybe choose based on this being slightly a homebrew campaign.
I mean, it's literally a constellation of stars.
Yeah, I'm trying to
so-
think of like it's like a cosmic being.
The questions you get during D&D.
I know. It's
Stars
such a
last
hard
underwater.
that's a hard thing to think about. Like no, right? Like they'd be more in space.
They would be in space, but
Yeah,
in space
stars
you don't
are
have to breathe
usually in
either.
space.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
but wouldn't they like be put out in water?
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'm gonna say no at this moment. I
Fair
think
enough.
unless it directly says you can breathe underwater, you can't.
Okay.
I think that's the call I'm
Can
gonna make.
Claire make a perception check to see if there's a way around this door or like a different direction to go?
Sure.
Ah! I'm not gonna use that rolling onto my computer. That is a 15 plus 4, so 19.
Okay. Yeah, so you take a closer look around this ship. You can't see anything else. Like when you go to the bottom layers of the boat, you just see sand. It's just stuck in the sand. There isn't any entrance here. The only part where you're pretty sure there is an entrance is that doorway.
Yes, we're fighting whatever that is.
Oh,
Can
we don't
die,
even know.
baby.
All right. Is there a way for me to signal Hazel to go back up to the surface so we can figure
Yeah.
out what this thing is?
Sure,
You
yeah.
just
Yeah. You sort of like nudge her a little bit and sort of bob your head up at the surface. She kind of looks like she needs a breath of air anyway, so
Yeah,
she
I'll
nods.
help her back up.
Swims back to the surface, takes a big breath from the air. Obviously you haven't necessarily been able to communicate with her what you saw. So she could see a little bit in the water, like she could see the shipwreck, but her eyes wouldn't have been as good as like a dolphin or a sand. So she doesn't quite know what is going on.
All right. I can't really do anything in this form, but I'm thinking I'm gonna swim back down and see if I can coax whatever it is out of the shipwreck, just so we can see what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Claire's
should be
going
able-
to assist.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna leave Hazel at the top? You said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna head down, see what is happening. Cool, okay. You head further down towards this boat, and you again can see the dark of the doorway. Again, as you get closer now, Argonis, you can sense the same thing, that there's something in the doorway. Like you can sense the movement of the water. You still can't see anything in there.
Claire's gonna open the door.
You're gonna open it. It is open. It is an open doorway.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It is an
Mhm.
open doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Claire's
like,
going
it's like
to
a
go
gaping
and
dark
swim in a
hole.
little bit,
Okay.
see if she can like see it.
Okay. You swim up closer to the store. You can see, now that you're a little bit closer, it's still super dark. but you do see that through the door, you can see the captain's quarters, and then at the back, where sort of the back of the ship would be, instead of just being the slope underwater, there's a hole that leads into the slope. It's rocky, it forms a tunnel, and you can see that it kind of leads upwards a little bit, so it's not just like further down into the slope, it leads upward. But you don't see anything in the...
Okay.
Can I make a perception check to like look around the room and double check that?
Mhm.
Or like an investigation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, roll me a perception if you don't really know what you're looking for. If you have something
Okay.
specific you want to check, you can try investigation.
Oh, she's gonna check for anything dangerous.
Okay.
Nat 20 again.
Nice. You know that there's something in here. You can't see it, but it's in here, and you're getting the sinking suspicion that whatever it is invisible. But you can feel that it's here.
What are you dealing with?
Claire's going to drop
Cracking.
her druid shape to cast Dispel Magic.
Okay, nothing happens.
Oh wait, I didn't have that spell anyway, so never mind.
So definitely nothing happens.
Yeah, she's going to like attempt to cast the spell that she doesn't have
It's like,
prepared.
oh
like,
wait.
wait, I don't have it. Um.
I think we just have to go for it and see.
Yep. Yeah, Claire's just gonna hold her breath and hope for the best here.
And you're gonna keep going through?
Yeah.
Okay. You attempt to swim through this room, and you feel your whole body get scooped up. It feels like you've just been scooped up by the water, and you get pushed back out through the door.
What the?
You see a little bit of like a flow. It almost looks like the head of some creature in the water, and then it disappears again.
Okay.
Ghost Kraken, Ghost
Claire
Kraken,
is going
Ghost
to
Kraken.
use shape water to see if she can like identify where it is.
Okay.
Because like she can move the water in there,
Mm-hmm.
but not whatever creature it is.
Okay. Yeah,
So-
I'll allow it. I like that. You can. Do you have something you want to try specifically, or would you like me to just sort of describe?
She's going to like try and like whirl the water around in the room so that the water would be like stopping near where the creature is.
Okay, yeah. So you start whirling this water around in the captain's quarters. There's like bubbles starting to form and everything, and it starts hitting into. It doesn't look like it's a super solid surface that it's running into, but you start to see a shape form in this water as it swirls around. What you see looks almost like a serpent. It's not directly a snake. It has sort of a big mouth that sits open. It has these two kind of ribbons that flow off the sides of its face. It almost looks a bit in between like a dragon and a serpent, but it doesn't have any like arms or legs. You can't see specific details, but you can see the general shape of it. And it sits kind of coiled up in this room looking at you.
Claire is going to cast Entangle on it.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Which makes it take a 15 strength save or be restrained.
It's immune to grappling.
Dang it.
What the?
It is a snake.
You would say Claire can now see this creature, correct?
You can see where it is. Yeah.
Okay, so I can't like see it.
Yeah. If both of you want to do some sort of like knowledge check on this thing,
Yeah.
You can do so.
Like,
Now that you can sort of see it.
have I heard of a creature like this from like the druids?
Yeah, roll me like a quick like history check or intelligence check, and we'll just see if you kind of have come across this at some point in your reading or your training.
Me and my history checks, I always get.
Yeah,
I am
I know.
horrible.
History check of 18.
Okay. Now that you can see it and that you've tried a couple things on it, Claire, you can kind of remember hearing about a creature like this. It's called a water weird. It's an elemental guardian, and it's bound to specific bodies of water. They can be good or bad, depending on the water that they're in, and they're usually summoned by someone specific to protect the area.
That's weird.
It is indeed weird.
Can Claire use anything to like try to
Cool.
convince it to let us through?
You can try.
Okay, would that be like a perception or an animal handling or a persuasion?
I guess just tell me what you think you want to
Do
try,
you have animal friendship?
and then we can kind of determine. It's not really a creature.
Okay.
It's an elemental, so it's a little bit different than, animal handling. So I will say animal handling probably won't do anything in particular.
So
Okay,
even
so
speak
she's
with
going to-
animals.
So she's going to kind of use the water in like to make kind of words, like her shape water to make words in the water to be like, we need to save somebody from a life or death situation.
You can see its head move as it looks at the words in the water. And you can't 100% tell, but it appears to be reading.
Can I?
Innocent lives will be taken if we can't get through.
I'm gonna go. Oh no, I don't. Can I do spells in my wild shape?
I don't
I'm pretty
think
No.
sure
so.
actually takes concentration.
No.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
you can cast a spell on yourself before turning into a wild shape, and that will remain.
Ah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna drop my wild shape, and could I use? I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Can I use Druidcraft to like shape the underwater plants in a how do I want to word this? I want to shape them in a way that it looks like the symbol for friend in Druidic. Maybe this creature understands Druidic.
Okay. Both of you roll me some persuasion checks here.
Okay. 15?
Persuasion. I'm gonna use guidance on this one.
Reasonable.
11.
You can't
sorry,
tell.
12.
It
I have
doesn't
a plus
move.
1 in persuasion.
It doesn't move, so you can't tell if it's been understanding what you're saying to it. It doesn't move out of the way.
Claire is going to systematically go through all of the languages she knows and translate it through all of them. So she's going to go through Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Druidic, and Sylvan.
Okay?
I've got Druidic, Draconic, and Common.
Yeah,
So I'll do the same thing.
Again, it sort of looks like it's acknowledging that there's words there. You can't tell if it understands them.
How long can you hold your breath?
she's going
Right?
to stop controlling the water and tell her and say, well, kind of like pull the water away from it so that they can't like tell where it is anymore, and say, make the water move if it's a yes, or still if it's no.
I'm gonna go back up for air.
Reasonable. Claire's going to pay attention to this very carefully.
And then I'm also gonna relay what's going on to Hazel.
Okay, yeah, you go back
Claire
up
is going to
and
die.
talk to Hazel. Claire, nothing is happening.
Claire is going to continue to try and uh, can Claire cast Charm Person on it?
It's not really a person though.
I
It's
know,
not a person.
but it's not an animal.
Yeah, I'd say no if it's a specifically charm person.
Why did this have to be the hard path?
I know.
We should have went
Yeah,
with the others.
Larson
Hey,
and
you-
Bird having a
Okay.
huge one.
Claire's gonna get
You
out of the
don't know
water
what-
and explain what's happening, and then she's going to renew their sneak abilities and see if they can sneak past it.
Okay. Yeah, so you all
You
gather
don't
at
know what's
the
still gonna happen.
you gather at the surface of the water, and you share what you've sort of found out with Hazel. You kind of explain like you think you know what it is and a
Have
bit
you
about
heard
it.
of this creature under the castle?
Hazel looks like surprised when you told her what you'd found, but says, I mean, sort of. Yeah, but we always thought it was just a myth as a kid. I mean, when someone tells you something's guarding the harbor, kind of laugh it off. But to be honest, I think I do. I think I have heard of it.
Do you
I
think
got-
it would be like from your family?
I
sort
got
of
an idea.
that you could convince it otherwise?
I mean, maybe if it's meant to guard our harbor, it's very possible that it would guard me. Is whether or not it would know who I am, though.
Hazel, could I borrow your necklace?
Yeah, okay. She pulls the necklace off, hands it towards you.
I'm gonna swim back down and like kind of hold it up to the creature. Maybe it recognizes the royal family crest.
Yeah, you hold the necklace out. You can't see the creature at this point because the water's not being shaped anymore, but you feel a bit of like a warm kind of caress across you that pulls the necklace a little bit closer into the doorway. You're still holding onto it, but it's sort of like someone was looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you feel this thing, let's go, and the necklace drifts back towards you.
Claire's
Okay.
going to bring
By the way,
remind me her name.
Hazel.
Hazel.
She's going to bring Hazel down and see if this will work, and see if they can get through now.
Okay. Yeah, you and Hazel swim down to meet up with Argonis. Again, you can't see it anymore. And Argonis is like kind of there with the necklace. So what would you like to try?
We're gonna
sh-
try moving past.
Okay. Who wants to go first?
Claire will do it.
Okay. Claire, you kick through. You kick through the door. You're slowly sort of swimming through this room. You feel a pressure on your right. This thing is still here, but it doesn't push you back out the door like it did last time.
Once she gets to the other side, she kind of gestures for everyone to follow.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna follow with Hazel, and I'm just gonna look in the direction and just kind of like nod thank you to whatever this was.
Yeah,
And
you
move on.
You make it through again. You feel a pressure. It's there. It feels like it's watching you as you go past. You make it to the other side of this room in the entrance of this hole. Hazel goes to swim through. She feels the pressure, and then suddenly she does this quick like backflip in the room and gets kind of like spun around, and then like left alone. You don't get a malicious feeling off this, but it's almost like whatever this thing was played with her for like a second. And then she kind of gets pushed towards you folks in the tunnel, and kind of like sped up through this room and pushed into the tunnel with you.
Oh, how sweet.
Hazel had kind of let out a bit of air, and now she's like kind of gesturing that she's running out of breath.
Alright.
Claire's going to grab onto her and get them out as quickly as possible. Her speed is 45, so it would be a little bit faster.
Okay.
Okay, you start swimming through this tunnel.
I'll be right behind them.
Okay. You're swimming through this tunnel. You're bringing Hazel. You can't tell when this tunnel's gonna end. You're still underwater. It's leading up a little bit more and more at a time. You know that the surface was about 30 feet up. You've got to be getting close now. Hazel's like kind of gasping for air, and at the last moment, you sort of feel this creature below all of you give you a bit of a boost through the tunnel and push you up to the surface of the water. You bubble out into an underground cavern where there is air, and you're all able to catch your breath. You find yourself in a small underground cavern. The tunnel leading downward through the water goes back where you came from, and you're sort of in a built pathway here. It definitely looks like it's been carved out at some point by hand. You can see a pathway leading into the darkness. And here, there's a bit of light coming from a small hole that leads up to the surface. And you can see a bit of light trickle into where you're standing. And that's where we're gonna probably leave it for today.
Oh.
So
I want to keep going. I want to keep going.
So we've got both of our parties here. We've got half of them have just met the water weird in the shipwreck and have been pushed up into this cavern. And we've got the other half of the party has lit up the Hangman's Noose on fire.
I've been silently celebrating that worked.
Yeah. And are making their way towards the guard tower. So when we start up next time, we will start back with the other crew to get them to the guard tower. And that's where we're gonna end today, because I know lots of people were hungry and possibly needing to head out. So didn't want us to get too much further into this.
You fell asleep.
Right?
Aw.
Right? But that was a lot of fun, everybody. Thanks for playing today.
It
Super
was. It
appreciate
was a lot
it.
of fun.
That was good.
I will attempt my best to join in next time too.
Awesome. That would be great. We don't want to leave Argonis by himself.
No. Let's
Amazing.
hope not.
Well, we'll do our best to plan with everybody. So we'll try to find a weekend that it works. And yeah, so I don't have any particular plans to make it work next weekend or anything. I've got some of my own stuff to do as well. And we do also, I'm not sure when our other campaigns might be happening, so leaving that open as well if those are going to be popping in the next
Freaking soon.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Thanks for playing. Thanks for everybody that was hanging out in chat today. We had some amazing follows today. The gift subs from Princess today. That was awesome. Thank you so much for those and the bits. Thank you for listening and enjoying. And welcome to Ken's Tavern. We are very excited to have you here. And we will see you very soon for our next session. It'll probably, if it's not this coming weekend, it'll be the weekend after that. Amazing. Thanks for more bits. Have
More
another
bits.
special brew.
Let's go.
Amazing. I have filled in all of your entries for today, so up until the end of stream, they are all going to be accounted for. And if you if you're doing something that's like after stream, and just let me know. That way I can make sure that I that towards your. All right. Okay, everybody. I have a friend we could raid if we need someone. Let's do it. Let's do that raid. Give us that command. Who are we raiding today? Sandra's giving us a raid. What is our... Do we have a raid command in this one? Oops, it's... It's broken, but it's supposed to be there. Basically, just say Ken's Tavern bringing the special brew. If you do have the emotes...
There it is.
Oh, there we go. Why did the other one not work? That's so weird. Oh, maybe Stream Elements doesn't have it. That's why.
Yeah.
Why I usually try to set it up as like its own bot. Amazing. So copy that if you need it. And we're gonna go see... It's Griff. I'm excited. Say hello to this person. Be like, we don't know you, but Sandra knows you, so hi. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for playing. I just want to like set this raid to go now since I already did all like deal. But join the Discord if you haven't joined our Discord already. And check out the merch. And if you have any ideas for...
raided.
Okay, good.
God.
We're
That's so funny.